ended the session early.
You say early, it was like 5 minutes. It's like your internet died basically while we were wrapping up, so it wasn't a big worry, thankfully.
Yeah, huh. I'm just gonna move that off of the. Put that GM layer.
Indeed, I believe we noticed when your internet had actually died when there was no answer to the question, so we're going to be wrapping up then, Stray. I was like, oh, there's no Stray here to confirm or deny. I guess since he's gone, we are.
Well, fortunately, Winter has my phone number, so I was able to text him and give you guys XP and stuff like that. Which I'm pretty sure you guys all wrote down, right?
Yeah.
We're at 8,200. I make it. So.
Oh crap! I know.
Indeed, I believe I'm now a rank 2 witch.
Woohoo! At least until Merzendi changes it all, because she's the best.
It's true. How's it going with reruling RT?
I've worked out the scope of it, and it's actually surprisingly easy. For the most part, I can just update character creation and customization, and then just shove the only war rulebook into the rest of it.
That's a good choice. That's a fine rulebook right there. A good book, Sprint.
So we'll be able to turn this into it in 2 weeks, you think?
Within the next 1 or 2 sessions.
Cool.
Okay.
Have you thought about sending it to Fantasy Flight?
Yeah. It's just your fucking books. Do it right next time, Fantasy Flight, you pricks.
Do it right. Do it this way.
They already lost their license. They couldn't do anything.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That ended in February. Anyways, I was gonna. Oh yeah, and then I'm not sure if you were around, Scow, but for people who weren't around, the rogue traders took because like void krakens are so rare as to be for the most part fantasy to most people, so they traded the carcass and pretty much everything else for an unlimited supply of really, really good hooch.
Didn't we already have unlimited hooch, or is this just better than good hooch?
No. Rem had his own thing of hooch that he wasn't sharing with anyone.
Oh, now you're saying we've got crew booze in. Alright, I have to upgrade my hedonism then.
Yeah, I forget what it precisely it's called, but Merzetti could probably tell you.
An indefatigable supply of Theosophist's filter.
Well, there you go.
That's a pretty good supply. It's indefatigable. Indefatigable.
Basically, it was a warehouse full of it.
Dope.
So.
What's starting experience? I'm just totally mind now.
In the main game?
Yeah, what's built in to the character?
4,500.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Dreamy Val.
Anyways, after we left off, you guys were about to get your xenoarchaeologist, and then take off to explore and exploit the Agarian Dominion.
Sounds about right. I know there was talk of what to do, but because I forgot which jobs were which, like, completely, I went, fuck it, they know what they're doing, even though I don't.
The Agarian Dominion is a set of star systems. The outer one had the alien with in the bottom, in the giant hole.
Oh, right, Creeper Zone.
Yeah, it's what you know of it is it's like 4 star systems all close together, and a great alien empire used to live there, but now they have all just disappeared and no one knows.
And then they got fucking owned.
Basically, no one knows about the Agarian Dominion, and all you know about them is that they kept something very old locked up in a very deep hole.
Yeah, and then there was a Space Marine chapter that turned up, possibly a Space Marine chapter, and it's someone that I should have fucking known, but I was failing lore all goddamn day. So it's like, I could have known what we're about to, like, dive dick first into, but I failed at all of those checks.
That's not important anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. It won't come back to bite us.
Would I do that?
No.
All right. So, you got. Oh, right, and you guys got a starship.
Yeah.
That minor detail from last session. You got another starship.
Right.
Oh yeah, I forgot to make a new sheet for that one.
You now have a sword class frigate that was generously provided to you by the Adeptus Mechanicus for just being so neat and giving them back their mass conveyor.
Just because you guys are really cool.
Honestly, they probably wouldn't have gotten that big of a reward, but they have written in their family's background that they and the Mechanicus are really, really tight buddies.
Yeah. There's like a big signed document from their grandpa that says, "Dear Mechanicus friendos, don't worry, I think your religion is the true version." And there's like a big love heart doodled on it, with little wires coming out of it.
Yes.
Do you want to captain the frigate? That would go so badly. That would be just actually the worst for us all.
I mean, I can't drive it, so that's the main reason I'm not.
That is one of many reasons.
One in many sane reasons.
It's
but
basically the opposite of the taken phone call. I have a very specific lack of skills. I can't find things. I can't drive things. I can't shoot things. But goddamn you, I won't even try.
Forgot to paste these tokens over somewhere else.
You got pasties? Cool.
I wish.
Get stuck to the nip hair when you're a dude. Be a terrible, terrible time. Yeah, exactly. Dudes should not use pasties. It's gonna just be the worst later.
Can confirm.
Can you?
Don't act. No.
I was gonna say, like, fucking well done. How did that come about?
Against my will, I would like to add.
It just.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, buddy.
I still have 600 unspent experience, but I think I'm gonna bank it for now.
I need to actually spend my experience.
You people. 2 weeks to do that. Alright.
Oh, that reminds
Wait,
me.
wasn't 600 what we just
might need
got? I
help
think I
with-
actually didn't change the number.
You guys should have gotten 600 XP for last time, 500 for session XP, and forget what I give you the 100 for?
I
Doesn't matter
taunted
now.
people with glory.
Yeah, you shit talked a sector.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you basically told the Heathen Stars exactly where they could shove it.
Yeah. And what should be the total XP spent? I know
Which-
that it is a pain in the ass to check this, but I know that my numbers are a little bit out after missing that one section because I'm an idiot.
8,200.
Then I am correct in that this is 600 I did not spend. Good job. Older me remembered to do the thing that newer me thought that older me was too stupid and must have actually just left in there by mistake. Good job, me.
Oh. I haven't been keeping up with that.
Mm.
Oh well. I know I got 1,300 to spend, apparently.
Since my internet crashed, did anyone bother pinning how much XP? At least in this session, we'll pin how much XP you should have just so you can double check
Yep.
later on.
Yeah. I know I was keeping up beforehand, so
Yeah, alright, so you should be good.
that should be pretty good.
The answer stray is yes, I'm a good Mazendi.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, Resendi did it.
She's a
Of
good
course.
What
girl.
does the trade skill actually do?
Like, you can have like trade armor and stuff
I've got
like that.
trade Voidfarer. Is
Um,
that literally?
You're a professional astronaut.
I can be a spaceman. Alright, fuck yeah, I gotta take trade Voidfarer just so that I can safely say that I'm, like, you know, a Bowie level Dark Elder. I'm pretty sure trade's intelligences, yes? Nope. Alright, trade Voidfarer.
Find a robot, find a robot, find a
Ugh. Okay.
robot. Trader, robots.
So many bugs.
Do this.
What are you looking for?
Spend my XP.
Oh, okay. Right. Was there anything you guys had wanted to do? I think we had just finished up everything on football, right?
We hadn't actually met the
The Reliquest.
Yeah.
Alchemist.
Yeah, I know about that, but I'm saying about everything else before we do that.
Don't think so.
Hmm.
Let's just say we did.
Sounds fair. Good plan.
All right. Do do do. All right. All right. Yep. I remembered. I remembered. All right. So back on the bridge of your ship, and I just used the main screen for this because I used to have two screens, but then I discovered who cares. Well, because I had one that just showed a ship, but it had all the same tokens as the main screen, so.
Hmm.
And let me move this over here. Alright. So you guys have been in footfall for a couple days. It took about that long to unload all of your, all of your totally well-gotten gains.
Yep.
Trade, get all that booze boarded, and it's gonna take about 5 days to get everything synced up between you and the Stargazer, your brand new ship that I named as a reference, then realized that we now have two starships with a gaze in the name.
And not only that, I used to work on a game called The Stargazers because it was fun. It was all about lesbians in space. Good times.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. So, at the end of your little venture, that really should be done with. Nah, Rem's not here, so he can suffer. So, your main bridge for the main communication for not the bridge but for the rogue trader themselves, a personal line starts blinking. Communication. So there's basically you're getting a space phone call from
It's the back phone.
someone who.
Yeah, that was an in character.
Oh, okay.
Very well, brother. Fine, I'll get it.
He's busy exploring this new alcohol, I'm sure.
I was literally about to say he's just slumped over in his chair. I had that terribly last night. I had a couple of beers, but I had it on an empty stomach. So I got to my house and I was setting up for Rogue Trader today, and I was falling asleep doing this because all the booze had suddenly ran out of my system.
Yep.
And they were pretty good beers too. Anyways, so you going to receive?
For communication, yes.
All right, so you flick on the communication, and a semi-shrouded figure you've never seen before materializes and bows deeply. Ah, Lady Urquides, I am a go-between, a seller, you might say, for the Casbilla Commission. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Can I
apologize.
roll any sorts of law to recognize that name?
Let's see.
I have Common, Imperium, and Forbidden Xeno.
Um, you know what? You've been going like on the ground and gathering information with your agents. You can make me a fellowship test plus uh plus 10. Yeah, for the information that they've gathered. Well, 1 degree of success will still tell you that the Caspilica mission is a shadowy organization of crime barons from the Drusus Marches sector, subsector of the nearby Calixtus sector. They are well known for their cold trade. That's about all you know. They do crime.
Ah. Hmm. Very well. To what do I owe the pleasure of this missive?
We understand that you are very busy, lady trader, so I will endeavor to keep this brief. Our information has us led to believe that on your last excursion you passed through what would be known as the Agarian Dominion, yes?
We passed through many systems.
Hmm. Well, in the event that you ever find yourself there again, the Caspilica Commission is very interested in starting a trade of goods the from that sector into and through Footfall. We would be very interested in paying, well, my employers anyway, paying a great number of thrones for even something as innocuous or mundane as pieces of crumbling wall or ruins.
Hmm.
As a token of good faith, this message includes several data packets on what is known of the Agarian Dominion. We do not require an answer now, but merely keep it in mind as you go to unload your cargo when you next come through.
Yes. Very well. You have our thanks for this gift. Should we come into possession of any items that may interest you, our agents will be in contact.
But of course, good day, your ladyship.
Good day.
And the message winks out. And before you guys start talking about serendipity, that was actually something I wanted to do last session. So yeah, part of the data packet is 2 pieces of information. One, it explains some of the nature of, well, technically 3 pieces of information. One explains the nature of the what they're looking for. Apparently, uh, in the Agarian Dominion, few people are willing to go out that far. As of now, the Kornos sector is largely unexplored, and only the most cursory probes and expeditions have gone there. No rogue traders have actually mounted full expeditions, instead ignoring the mystery of this area for more profitable ventures. But what they have noted is that the extinct species that lived in the Agarian Dominion built massive cities formed of intricate, elaborate, and maddening mazes that were left behind when their builders mysteriously vanished. These massive cyclopean edifices dominate most of the Agarian landscape. Many are large enough to rival even the massive hives of imperial worlds, and they rise above the desert dunes and desiccated scrub. Their vast walls and towers covered in strange protrusions riddled with countless passages and corridors. The thing that makes these things these cities incredibly unique, however, is not their architecture, but rather what they are made of. They all seem to be constructed of a type of crystalline stone, and this material is pale stone, cold and smooth to the touch no matter the outside temperature. But somehow this material is able to channel light from outside, even the deepest regions of these places, well, as far as people have been able to go without the cyclopean mazes driving them mad, are lit by a soft white shifting glow. During the daylight hours, the walls seem to glisten with a rainbow hue to them, much like oil slicked on water. Aside from that, relatively nothing is known about this material. However, the two pieces of information that he gives you aside from that is that the crystals, when harvested from blocks used to build the support of larger structures, they can be carved down and made into blades.
Hmm.
The blades seem to be able to cut through much armor with ease and do a fair amount of damage. However, the only side effect is that any misuse or overtaxation causes the weapon to shatter. Now, the other um, the other thing that they are able to tell you is let me just it's easier if I just take it from the book. 125. They are able to tell you that within certain alcoves in this area, they have found strange small orbs that are filled with compacted shards of diamantine glass. On detonation, the area is showered in cutting projectiles which can slice through most armor. They warn you that the triggering mechanism for these strange weapons is very much different from Imperial design and how to use it yourself. And they will note that the whatever researchers from the Adeptus Mechanicus went out there, some say that these things weren't even meant to be used as grenades at all.
Interesting. Do you have that available as a handout, Stray? So you don't have to just ask you for like random minutia if they come up.
Okay. On page 175 of the core, you'll find the grenades.
Okay.
And I'll just, so we don't have to always go to and because I don't want you guys reading through it to this is like one of my favorite things that I'm taking directly from the book. These planets, anyways, these aren't homebrew. They're really, really cool things from Edge of the Abyss. Let me just crop that out. Nope, clicked on the wrong one. There we go. And add handout. And choose file. And in Player's Journal, all players. All right, you should be able to see, whoop, a Garian Crystal Blade in the handout.
Yes.
Needs to be moved there, but.
So, weird pyramidy things, crystal swords, and explosive light bulbs. That's the long and short of it, yeah?
Yep. It's the information you were provided with.
Of which, Taran?
Well, I am always more partial to the blades. I confess I mean, there are grenades that sound very much like what are being described in this document. El Xian, when she came with us, she was part of that acquisition. If you recall the splinter grenades?
I do, yes.
They sound like them, which there's nothing wrong with them to be sure, but I am always fans of a bladed weapon, and if there is a possibility of building up a collection of them, or possibly smashing a few on purpose into someone's spleens, then that would be even better. I've heard humans do not need their spleens very much. That might be incorrect, but I am willing to find out.
That is something that we will have to consult one of the. Oh, yes. We'll have to consult the genital Carl about that.
About spleens?
Correct.
Ugh. That man is, very uncouth. I have always had an immense dislike for the vat bear thing and the construction. It's very crude. At least less crude than the technological advancements, instead hammering on a metal bolt-in piece of shit instead of growing a beautiful new limb. I can at least admire that part, but overall he is one creepy little bitch.
But will you deny that he is the most likely to know about spleens?
That I can definitely agree on, but I've always found that live dissection is perfectly accessible as well. I will find out next time we are off the ship. That was a joke, probably.
So long as it isn't traced back to us.
You haven't heard about any of it yet, so you must assume I'm doing so quite well.
Disappointing that you haven't managed to do it to any of our enemies yet.
That shows what you know. You might have many more enemies around if not for me on the planet's surface every now and again. If I bragged every time I killed some braggarts with their own little stupid ships, then we would never get anything done.
Some braggarts are not our enemies.
Yes, but they are still very satisfying to have them fed their own teeth.
I shall take your word on that.
And she just smile and return to just leaning on a chair and making people feel uncomfortable. As is her day.
All right. So, yeah, that's the information you have. You also do have information that there were other expeditions that went there. So, maybe the remnants of which have more knowledge of what's going on in the Agarian Dominion. But for the most part, when the Adeptus Mechanicus presence in the area didn't find any STCs or Xenotech of great value, they just kind of moved on. All right. So, this happened over the course of you guys about to be shipped out, and then yep, Ambrosia is alerted that your xenoarchaeologist is requesting permission to come on board.
Yes, allow her to board. You may extend the fast run.
It's still unbearably slow, but, you know. This should be interesting.
You shan't tell her how much she has wrong, though, Taryn. She'd be dreadfully disappointed.
Oh, please. As if I would overtly over-enlighten a human about some of our more finessible nature. I am, however, very interested to hear what she knows of.
All right. So, a few minutes later, the it takes a few minutes to get across the whole length and breadth of the ship to the bridge, and then who should appear but
Fuck.
Alana? She's here again! Yay!
Oh, God.
No. I just did that because I wanted Scout's heart to sink a little bit. That's not actually what it is. Ooh.
Oh,
Alright, I should put it over here.
Knowing you, that could have definitely been
That could have been
serious.
100%
Oh yeah,
serious.
yeah.
It was on the table, wasn't it?
You have you have no idea how tempted I was. But then I was like, you know what? Yeah, nah. We already have Tam here and stuff like that, and yeah, maybe I'll spring something like that later on. I just wanted Scout's heart to sink a little, you know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Who actually steps forward is a pink-haired young lady steps aboard your ship in what are they called? Body glove, and she brightly smiles around the room, looking at your rather unusual crew before her eyes settle on Taryn. She her face first of all, she sees Elshian and immediately gets like real excited, and then her gaze lands on Taryn, and her face turns from one of joy to one of abject terror. She dives behind a bulkhead screaming and pulls out an inferno pistol. No, oh god, Dark Eldar. That's not an Eldar, traitor.
I am quite aware as to what it is.
Are you? Do you know what they do?
I bake cakes.
I've been in a Dark Eldar raid.
Oh, really?
I've seen what you do to people.
Clearly not an effective
You're
one.
still alive. I was about to say, you're still alive, my dear. And also, I am considerably more independent than your raiding party.
Dark Eldar don't kill people. They drag them off to do horrible things to them. At least regular Eldar just kill you. The reason I'm alive is because you ran into Space Marines.
Ugh, Space Marines. The Emperor's blue little assholes. Well, at the very least, I have
They
no...
were not blue.
Oh, they weren't.
That's Ultramarines.
Whatever, they all look the same. I mean, they do all
Elsian
look
will
the
lean-
same. I
difference.
don't know if you...
Elshian will lean in and ask Abby, what color were they?
She's like hiding across the room in a bulkhead, like waving like an artificer inferno pistol around.
Really now, I would not recommend waving around a gun in some rogue trader's front ship. They tend to get very jumpy, and although I do not intend to lash out at you myself, I usually would not have to in here.
You're a Dark Eldar.
And this is a
What are
rogue.
you doing on the
Because
ship?
this is a rogue trader vessel. I don't know if you are aware of how it works, but they do not as much give a shit for the Xenos as long as we are useful and pleasant. And I am obviously both of them. You should see I am very charismatic. Big toothy spooky grin.
Regular Eldar, maybe. Regular Eldar you can actually reason with. And yeah, while they might not, they might use us for like their own weird ends, they generally just don't go and drag people off to horrible, rapey murder pits.
I have not murdered and there was one, but that was a mistake. He was a little bit over enthusiastic. Regardless, I'm getting off track. I am not nearly so menacing as the usual Dark Eldar. I am of more highborn quality and more inclined to following whims as opposed to raping murder dungeon darkness. Plus, I already asked they would not install one on this ship.
It's true.
She remains terrified.
I am obviously very bad at this making humans relax thing. I will go and... I was going to say bake a cake, but I suspect that she would assume it is full of evil murder poison or, worse, not quite murder poison. She might have asked. Rebecca Saka can hear laundry thing.
Did who actually ask what, Merzindi?
Did Taryn actually ask for a rapey dark dungeon?
Oh. Monique just like looks at you and well, did you? Taryn, did you actually ask for that?
She just got up, Stray.
Oh, not thing. Oh well. Apparently Elshan is typing.
No,
So,
no, I'm here. I'm just.
It says typing.
Oh yes,
I said typing.
Yeah.
Ambrosia, your xenoarchaeologist is cowering behind your communications bulkhead.
Ambrosia will stand up from her command throne, march over, and just loom for a moment. What was your name, girl?
Abby Haynes.
Well, Abby, allow me to inform you that this Dark Eldar, I am fully aware of her capabilities. I have, from time to time, employed some of her capabilities. If this will be a problem for you, get yourself gone. If not, pull yourself together.
And I return.
Did you actually ask for murder dungeon?
It was definitely in passing at some point.
Monique nods at you. Says she didn't really feel like passing it up the chain of command, as in that would be a ridiculous request. Beneath your notice to add a Rick dungeon for a Xenos.
It's probably a lot of paperwork involved as well, getting the contractors in. Oh, this is breaching all sorts of health and safety warnings, mate. You see that? Someone go, oh, that's the point. No, sorry, got to put some signs.
Anyways, Abby shakily stands up and puts her Inferno pistol back in the holster. Just keep her very far away from me.
Keeping me far away, that is just insulting. Why can't we be friends?
Didn't you leave?
No, I was going to go and bake a cake, but I realized that this would bring no help in this situation.
I've seen what your kind do to my what happened when your kind got a hand on my friends.
Of course, and I have seen humans capable of far worse atrocities. Do I assume that you're all slavering, chaos-born fucking mutants? No, I do not. I find your assumptions that I am so uncouth rather insulting, frankly. Or are you? Are you actually secretly just a foolish, stupid woman believing that their emperor is not only the god, but then, if ever your faith is even temporarily troubled, then you will break down crying, worship the forces of chaos, lose your mind, and commit atrocities because it makes you feel good?
Wow.
Are you implying? Of course he's the god emperor.
That's not the part of the question I was asking, but I find your immediate assumptions that you can ignore the latter question rather amusing.
She just kind of levels a glare at you, and her hand doesn't leave the butt of her pistol.
Do you really want to reach for that gun again? Because I really do not recommend doing so twice. First is very understandable. I am a very scary lady. I can see that. I am tall, I am not of human color, and I am enchantingly beautiful, which is, in its own way, very uncanny. Drawing it twice, however, is very rude.
Abby will like glance at Ambrosia. Your pet psychopath is not really making a good case for me to lend you my services.
You're being very rude.
I'm the pet psychopath. She's the.
I would like to think I'm rather level-headed.
You literally eat agony to stay alive. I know enough about you.
I'm sure you do. And it's that kind of thorough research we would appreciate, of course.
I literally burn things with my personality alone. She's fine.
That is also true. But I do also
Have you
take care of puppies and bake cakes. I believe that would actually blow your little pink mind.
Pink.
Have you? And we'll just like turn a gaze to Anna. Have you seen a homunculi before?
Homunculi? I barely knew her.
That I have.
Burning things with your mind is nothing like strapping random bits and pieces to people, warping their flesh beyond all recognition, and then feeding off of their agony until they're nothing more than bloated masses of nerves and tissue.
Isn't that called a servitor?
Yes, it is. That sounds a lot like a servitor that has not been lobotomized.
Servitors are vat-grown clones.
Not all of them.
Are they though?
When someone is made into a servitor as part of a crime, all of their higher functions and their understanding of pain is snipped away. You make Dark Eldar make sure that they're still intelligent and can feel everything.
Sure.
Oh. Okay.
That said, our Dark Eldar has not done something
That
like
is
that.
true. Also, I am not. The homunculi is not the creation. The homunculi is the creator. And do I look
Yes,
like one of
yes, I
them
know.
to you? I have normal
No.
standard humanoid limbs.
I was not implying that you were a homunculi, merely what the homunculi do. The Lords of Pain. And she will say that last part in Dark Eldar.
I will slowly raise an eyebrow. Now that is delightful. I like this one. She actually knows her tongue. Although your pronunciation was a little off, you have to lift a little as you end a sentence.
This is my job, xenoarchaeology, which is why I know what your kind do, but I guess your traitor friend, whatever.
I would say friend. At the very least, acquaintances that do not want to kill each other.
How reassuring.
That is a lot better than a lot of my race. She is not completely wrong, although her assumptions about me are slipping further and further away from the truth.
So Abby's going to turn to Ambrosia and said, I have met many Dark Eldar, and none of them have been pleasant. As long as you can guarantee my safety and ensure that I have guards at my door, I will help you. Otherwise, you're going to have to find another arch reliquarist on here, which I assure you you won't. There aren't that many of us. Certainly not this far into beyond the Emperor's light.
Yes, yes. You were going to receive guards anyway, simply as a matter of course. But
Ooh, I can recommend a few
Yeah.
that hate my guts.
a few.
Well, you know, that actually also are not cowardly enough to actually prove that they hate my guts. It's very adorable.
There's that other one that burns things that might do the job well.
Don't say our
Yes.
rhetoric is painful.
You may select any. You may select any of my Praetorians to serve as your bodyguard while you are aboard this vessel. If they are not your satisfaction, then perhaps you can persuade Macraw or Elshian to lend you some of their time.
I did not know you could persuade an orc to do anything other than there's a good fight over there.
That's kind of what we're doing.
It's very roundabout logic
Orc-
usually, but it often works.
Orcs don't bodyguard as a matter of course.
They do if they believe the person they're guarding is about to be attacked.
Yes, Macraw, would you like to stand near Abby so that if Taryn ever decides to be mean, you get to actually try your luck against her?
Toothy grin.
Yeah, toothy grin.
See, you just have to word it
yes.
correctly.
Very sensible negotiations, as you can see.
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather hide behind either the are you do you bear the markings of a craft worlder? Yes?
Yes.
I thought so. I've met a couple of what are they called? Pathfinders? I think they're called Pathfinders. I've met a couple of your Pathfinders before. Lovely conversationalists, if a bit condescending.
Stuck up.
Well, that's most
You have a-
Eldar. They mostly manipulate humans as a matter of course rather than outright attack. Unless, of course, you're talking about Corsairs.
Ah, yes, no Corsairs here.
Wow. Pirates are pirates, no matter the species.
Yes. Indeed, we will be very interested if you have heard of any in this area, in hunting them down and killing them.
The only Corsairs in this area operate out of where was it? All right, I'll find the area where he operates.
Just assume she says the name of the
later,
place.
then tell
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I already forgotten. I had already clicked away from that page.
Although it is not
That's-
archaeologic. Do you know anything of the Prince of Thieves around here? The Prince of Pirates? An Eldar upstart.
By reputation, he seems to, rather than many Corsairs, there have been things where he has been seen actually working with craft world ships of unknown allegiance.
Did not know about the craftworld ships. Very useful. Fair enough.
If you can describe their colors to me, their designs and colors to me, I may be able to determine what craft world they were.
You the, these are just reports that came in through secondary channels and mostly through the Mechanicus forces.
Ah,
Pointing.
The rumors of a craft world around here are, of course, circulating, but nothing's been confirmed so far. All we've seen are Corsairs and gives Terran a wary look. Dark Eldar attacks.
hmm. It is very likely, although not in large numbers these days, I would assume.
Definitely not in the Coronos sector. Most of your particular breed try to stay away from this area. It's known as, and she thinks of tries to think. Well, you have a word for it in your language, and she says it, and then, but in our language, it's uh, a mixture of cursed, foreboding, and uh, grave of heroes.
That is a close number of approximations. Heroes isn't really the right word, but yes. I, as before mentioned, am not really very much in touch with the majority of Dark Eldar kind. There are still some that I find quite admirable, but most of them are uncouth and rather boring.
In any event, I think I should like to go to my room now and get set up. Uh, by your leave, my lady.
Ambrosia will gesture in the affirmative.
Very well. Could I possibly have a couple of your Praetorians come with me, just in case?
I'm so tempted to tease her as well. I'm just like, there'll be time later to tease. Behave.
Yes, I will.
So Abby's gonna shuffle off, taking a wide berth around Terran, and go down to her decks. Well, her the deck that her quarters are on, anyways. Should have said quarters. All right.
Well, that was an excellent first impression. Clearly, she's going to fit in perfectly with this crew.
I mean, obviously.
This, to your mind, this isn't all too uncommon. In your years in the Imperial Navy, you have come across like victims of Dark Eldar attacks. Some were just
Mhm.
driven insane.
That bitch needs a jaded talent.
Can confirm she does not have that.
If that had gone on any longer, I'd been tempted to make sure she calmed down.
I suspect forcing it on her would be a talent she was aware of our capacities if she is trained in any measure, especially if she's particularly paranoid about Dark Eldar, that is sure. I'm sure she'll warm up to me. I like her, she has spunk.
Can confirm she has paranoia.
If you don't have Jaded and you
Relatively.
meet Dark Eldar, I think you get paranoia by default.
If relatively chipper for all she's been through.
Hmm.
Oh, hey, look, it's Rem. Well, he's online anyways.
Cool. He returns in a soon.
Oh, power outage, damn.
The whole block got attacked.
What chat was that in?
PMs.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering if I had missed it, because I did look to see if he had said anything about today. Anyways, you want to give him a couple minutes before you guys shove off?
Sure. And maybe
Sure.
he can go and talk to Abby and, be the nice trader.
Now, I know that you're
Yes.
particularly terrified of the creepy aliens and the roughness of my sister, but here, have lots of alcohol. I'm going to be charming now.
That would be much better than Elshian's. I know you're terrified of the Dark Eldar. Everything you believe in is true.
Everything you know is true. Be afraid. Be very afraid. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop with that bitch. You're crazy, I know it. She ain't proved it yet, but that must mean that she's just really good at it.
The only thing the Dark Eldar and the Eldar know of the Emperor is that he's simply the most powerful psyker in existence.
Yeah.
Because they can literally see his psychic emanation in the warp.
Mhm.
Yeah, like the Eldar may not want to admit it, but they do know that the most powerful psyker is a human.
Yeah, the thing they're worried about is if he dies, it causes a second Eye of Terror, because he's powerful enough to cause that.
Yeah.
Also, even worse is if he dies and comes back, but, like, completely whole. That's a theory. That's a scary one. It's like, oh great, the Emperor is walking again. Fuck.
No, the worst situation is if he gets reborn in the way the Elder Gods showed up in the first place.
I don't know. I don't
which
know
is
enough about
also
that.
Theory.
I'm not deep enough in the nerd cut. I just spent all of my points. I'm burned out now. Sorry, guys.
Well, maybe the only thing that'll, if the Emperor comes back and is really tired of Eldars being dicks 2.0, at least you might have Yanid on your side. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yanid. I'm not actually sure how you say that.
I don't know.
I don't know
either.
what it is.
I also think it's a retarded god.
So you know when regular Eldar die, their souls get put into Soulstone?
Nope.
Okay. Well, when regular Eldar die, to prevent them from being eaten by Slaanesh, their souls go into a Soulstone, and then is all put into the heart of a craft world, and so it creates like a purgatory, which isn't great, but it's a lot better than because Eldar, when they die, don't lose their consciousness, their souls don't, so they're aware of being nommed on for eternity by demons.
Yeah.
So
It sounds like a raw deal. It's kind of what we Dark Eldar are endlessly avoiding. Why we do the pokey poke.
So
You found a second way out of it, which is cause people pain, and Slaanesh lets you go.
the little soulstone things are said to be tears of the Eldar goddess Isha, and the only way to get them is to get them on demon worlds.
Or eBay.
So what happens when you put them all together is, according to like Dark Eldar lore, Eldar lore, I mean, and the Black Library, is that within the all of those matrices, when they all come together, they're going to create there's right now the birthing throes of the Eldar god of death, Yanid.
Yeah. You need to believe in me.
So you birth another god that likes Eldar souls. Good job.
And well, it was born from dead Eldar, and it's said that according to prophecy of the Laughing God, the only surviving Eldar god other than Isha, is the one the Harlequins follow, is that the Slaanesh will at one point be poised to devour Kegarach, but in that moment, Yanid appears behind Slaanesh in the perfect position for a killing blow.
Of course, the perfect position on Slaanesh for anything is from behind, so, you know, that's fine. That makes sense.
So yeah.
Lore dump!
Yeah. And then there's also prophecies of Isha being free.
Yeah.
Blah,
Moving
blah.
on.
Well, we were waiting for Rem, which is why I went on Teppy.
Oh, and he's still not booted back in.
I think it might have been my brother calling for me, so I'll boot out for a little bit too.
Okay, I was gonna start anyways, but and he's gone. Well, get a refresher on your drink, and neither of them are back in 2 minutes. Yeah, we'll call it 5:35 or whatever it is for your time zone. Then we're gonna get started anyways. And keep going. So good.
Alright, I'll run some background music.
Alrighty.
make us something Creative Commons free so I don't have to fucking arse around with it later.
Gonna put a warmer on my drink.
Turns out who's this visiting?
Ah, okay.
So he was like, so what I heard was him being super loud.
Alright, well,
Bob's
looks like...
back, so...
Huh?
Bob's back.
Okay, Bob's back. You still here, Scow? Okay. Just wondering because you were muted. Alright. So yeah. You've met your xenoarchaeologist, Abby Hayes. She appears to have been traumatized in a Dark Eldar attack. And now you get you around this time, you receive word that the Stargazer is ready to go and is linked up to your nav array, so you can follow each other through the warp.
Oh,
Next up, we score ourselves a Dark Eldar frigates. And get you a nice murderous death scythe. And then I'll just follow you in the webs. I'm sure that's totally not going to be a total disaster.
Provided there's even exit portals from the webway in the area that the traders are getting.
Probably. Don't they have like really, really fast, just in general movement, so it wouldn't be unreasonable to end up vaguely nearby and then just travel to them? I think that's how it works.
It really depends on if there are any webway gates anywhere near, because humans can go basically from point A to point B, but they have to do something incredibly more dangerous by literally going into the warp. The webway basically cancels out a lot of the dangers of traveling through the warp, which is why the Emperor wanted to
Make his own, yeah.
make the it's based off of the it's not the Eldar webway isn't even built by the Eldar, but we can get into that later. But
let's not
it
and
would
say we
basically,
did.
if you had your own ship, yeah, if you had your own ship and you tried to follow, you could end up where they've been, hanging out there for 2 weeks by the time you're actually able to get there through flight of your own.
I see.
Really depends on where they are, because a lot of web gates were destroyed.
Mm. Fair enough.
So you guys are now on football. Football. Not gonna bother having the other ship on the galaxy map.
Fair.
Alright. So, is there anything you guys would like to do on football before you shove off for the Agarian Dominion?
Do spies have anything juicy about the local ecclesiarch?
What they have about you sent your spies to basically investigate, right?
Mhm.
It's been a couple weeks since you've been gone. They can. Okay, don't distract me. When you were, it's been a couple weeks, but by the time you get back, they can tell you that he's definitely very richly appointed for someone this far beyond the Emperor's grasp, and he apparently has a small squad of Sisters of Battle protecting him at all times, who are incredibly rare, as in these are probably the only Sisters of Battle in the entire Coronos expanse. It's unusual for him to have this much unless he has some serious backing going on. That's what they can tell you for now.
All right.
It's Rem.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Ram. We can't hear you, by the way.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Now we got
Hear
you.
you now.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. A drunk hit a power pole.
Damn.
Who won?
The power pole, but it was determined that it was in self-defense.
Nice.
All right. So before we get too far here, let's go back over here.
I was about to say,
Rem.
I didn't miss. When did you start?
4:30.
About an hour and a bit ago.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. I mean, we mostly got through GABA, and because we knew you were eventually on your way, we then just fucking talked nonsense for a while. Nonsense by which I mean I was taught more Warhammer nerd bullshit, because I don't know enough of it.
What happened was I played a thoroughly masterful prank where I had your reliquaries to be Alana, and then just deleted that token because it was it was the greatest joke of all time. Your actual reliquaries, as you can see, Rem is down here. Abby Hayes.
Abby, oh yes.
Abby Haynes. She got on board, looked around the room, was really excited when she saw two Xenos, and then looked at Terran. Turns out that she was the victim. She was a victim of Dark Eldar attack once, and dove behind one of your bulkheads, screaming in terror and waving around an Archaeotech Inferno pistol. Your sister is a master of interpersonal relationships and basically growled her down and gave her the, you can either accept what I'm doing or get off my ship. Abby does realize that traveling around with rogue traders with a grand warrant is still a good idea, but has requested that a couple of your Praetorian guards be around her at all time.
Fair.
During this time, you were taking a small snooze, but out of character, Merzendi mentioned you might want to go talk to Abby because, Ambrosia's not exactly the best at interpersonal relationships with the, you know. Oh, it's getting, yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
Ambrosia is very good at interpersonal relationships with people of the same social rank and who don't immediately start by threatening her
people
minions.
person. You need a. God fucking damn it. So.
No, it's just that my sister has a fucking pet rooster. I think I told you guys about that before.
So what you're saying is that you need a regular people person.
Yes.
I see. Very, very well. Where's she hidden?
She has quarters in the office. Oh, she has quarters in the officer's decks.
Very well. I'm assuming she does have a little guard patrol.
Yes, 2 of the Praetorians.
Ah. Very well.
I would like those back. If so, do try to make her as comfortable as possible, brother.
Very well. And I guess I swagger on over there. Hello?
Sorry, was yelling at the rooster.
Were you yelling at your cock?
Maybe.
He indeed had to shout at his cock to quiet it down. Listen, cock, this is how it's gotta be.
It's not gonna help. Goddamn, I hate.
I thought you were about to say, goddamn, I hate cocks, and I know that to be true. No, I know it's obviously a lie. You love cocks. They're always in your eyes and mouth and ears.
Farm animals, get out. Goddamn suburbs. Anyways, yeah. All right, you can find her quarters. There are a couple of your Praetorian guard, standing outside.
Real Quast, this is the other rogue trader. I suppose that there was a little incident. Would you mind if I came in?
She's going to. It's going to take a couple minutes, but then you hear, not minutes, but a couple moments, and then you hear a ping of the door opening. The door opens, and you can see the last motions of an Inferno pistol being put back in its holster.
Oh my. At least someone has quality around here.
Huh? What?
I just walk out. Ah, your choice of weaponry.
Oh, yeah, that was given to me by a mechanicus who I gave a piece of Xenotech to. Some
Wonderful.
sort of cannon we found.
Ah. Wonderful. I myself, walking and taking a seat somewhere. I myself am actually the owner of an Archaeotech las pistol myself. Now, what seems to have caused a minor disturbance upon my ship?
Oh, I said Archaeotech, I'm an artificer. Those are different.
Yes, very
Yep.
different.
Yes, very different. You have a Dark Eldar.
Yes, not by my will, but she is here.
You do know what those things do, right? They're a far cry from the regular ones who just look snoodily at you and then use you for their own ineffable ends.
I am very aware. The only reason why she is upon my ship is for the same reason that I believe the other Eldar and the Greenskin is upon the ship. Is that they were squatting here when we found it.
Huh.
Unfortunately, as much as I would love for all the Xenos to be off my ship, they have proven themselves to be useful. the Eldar itself is good through its own inscrutable powers. The green skin is good at what it does. And as for Taryn, she has also proven to be useful from time to time.
Of course, they prove useful. And just, I've already had this conversation. Just don't let your uh, your belief that you have somehow uh, outwitted it to to cloud your judgment.
Oh, I have
They-
absolutely no belief that we have outwitted it. And as soon as its business is complete, I would love nothing more than for us to move on in our merry ways, us to have my ship back and it to have whatever it desires, and to be away with itself. Alas, it is not yet that point in time. I'm doing this merely out of a courtesy.
They have dark and labyrinthine minds. Whenever they say two words, it's treated as if they said an entire paragraph, but one that they simply kept to themselves or assumed you would understand. Despite our similarities, we are not. We are not despite the fact of our physical similarities, mentally we are nothing like them, nor they we.
Oh yes, according to our janitor, they are very different. As one particular pheromone gas incident actually proves that their genetic makeup is extremely different than the human body.
Fair. I don't want to know. Just know that Eldar are highly intelligent as a matter of course, and that they are much, much faster than we are.
Oh, I am very well aware. Do be aware that it is only at this point in time two Eldar on a greenskin upon my ship, versus thousands of loyal members of His Majesty's cadre, and wanted, we could we could find them and drop them before they could cause any more harm. And for the time being, we we find it as entertainment, and the crew find it as morale boosting that occasionally she does serve her purpose well in the gladiatorial arena itself and entertainment.
Very well, just don't let her get too close to me, anyways. I don't care how different she might seem. I've seen what their kind do to species they view as uh, lesser.
I'm very well aware. But in the same token, I must ask you: do you believe that I do not have control over my own ship and what it does and what the persons within it?
There have been people who have asserted that before. The wrecks of their ships now dot the galaxy. I
And
know. I've been on those ships.
do you believe me to be a mere man?
You are a human of a vaunted dynasty, but man nonetheless. None can claim to be greater other than the Adeptus Astartes or the Emperor himself.
Yes. And and as a member of one of said vaunted dynasties, I refuse to have myself put down by any Xenos. And I can rest assured, as long as I am here, that this Xenos shall not cause you any more issue.
She just kind of gives you a resigned look and nods.
Very well. Is there anything else that we can do to accommodate you?
No, thank you. I have all that I need here.
Very well. Need of the guard.
What do you say, Rem? You know the guard?
Do you still believe that you are in need of the guard?
Part of my conditions were that guards be stationed around me at all times as long as that Dark Eldar is aboard. If you want, you can find another I just said this. You can find another xenoarchaeologist specializing in Eldar and unknown species, but I assure you, you'll find none outside of the Gothic sector. Or you might have to travel all back to Calixis.
Very well. In due time, we'll be on call for you.
She nods and gets back to unpacking.
I'll be taking my leave.
Various like beeping and booping, and you see like a servo scroll whirling about. Pulls out stuff that just looks, even to your mind, just techno arcane.
I see. And I suppose I just swagger out.
Swagger. She's incredibly useful. She doesn't just study Xenos. You'll probably get a lot of out of her in this, like literally the place you're going now.
Mhm.
Literally, her job is forgotten alien civilizations.
I know, it's absolutely wonderful.
I was talking to Resendi.
Oh.
Yeah, but if she's gonna make a massive scene every time, it's not gonna happen.
Well, she got what she wanted: guards and a gun. No, well, she already had her gun, but guards, and it's mostly just a beginning thing. Patience. Anyways, back to the map. So, like I asked just before Rem got here, I'm pretty certain none of you have anything you want left to do in football, right? Just pop off into the warp.
Mhm.
You need to put a space bob. Space
Gotcha.
before and after, otherwise no one can click on it.
We didn't want that good anyway.
Anyways. Alright, so you guys disengage from Footfall and with the Stargazer in tow, enter the warp. On your way to the Agarian Dominion. It'll take about let's see, about 4 days warp travel.
That's a long time to be listening to the Doctor Who theme.
Don't even know what that is. Okay.
Sounds more impressive than those two, of course, but still.
You hear the sound of drumming?
Alright, so the rest of these 4 days go rather smoothly. There are some moments that get tense in the warp as I gotta click over the screen because I already forgot her name. As Marion, they goes through a few difficulties when you pass through and around this close to the warp storms that dot this sector, but she's able to see the light of the Astronomicon and traverse you guys safely through the warp and into the outskirts of the Agarian Dominion. Weird. All right.
Hmm?
No, it's my Rogue 20, my Roll 20. Yeah, Rogue 20. Roll 20 was acting up on me.
Fair enough.
So you pop out of warp on the edges of the Agarian Dominion. You know that. Hang on, let me look this up real quick. You know that Sebastian Winterscale discovered this small collection of stars during his exploration. And he didn't spend too long a time here. He spent most of his time uncovering and conquering worlds within the area of space known as Winterscale's domain. But
So wait, he didn't plant his flag here? He didn't plant his flag here?
This is was technically part of the area of space that he owned, but as you know, the winter scales after him weren't quite so as grand as him, and have lost certain parcels of his territory. The only thing he ever discovered was a partial translation of the ancient Xenos pictographs left behind, from which he learned the name of these worlds, the Agarian Dominion. There are 4 primary star systems, and each of these worlds share similar characteristics, almost so similar that I could use the same planetary map for each of them. Yay! Agarian Alpha, Agarian Gamma, Agarian Epsilon, which we've already been to, and Agarian Omega. Each of these systems has one semi-habitable world circling an ancient and bloated star. All of these worlds share similar characteristics. They are dry and cool deserts comprised mostly of endless dunes and rocky outcroppings, and are dotted by sparse, shallow bodies of brackish water.
All right. Auspex, wideband scan. Let's see if there are any other ships here.
And it's, what, plus 30, is it?
Plus 28.
All right. You know that as far as you can tell, you seem to be alone in these accursed stars.
Fascinating.
Where shall we begin?
I say upon the uninhabitable worlds. Move to the uninhabitable ones.
All right. There are 4 star systems, each with 1 habitable planet. You've already been to one of them. That's where you found the tomb of the ancient Xenos.
Which one of the habitable worlds, brother? They do have this dreadful positioning, each in a different system.
You have not been to Gamma, Alpha, or Omega.
I say Omega.
I have no reason to object.
All right. So the question is, you are are on the edge of this series of clusters. Do you use warp travel to get there, or do you use sublet engines?
Since it's a cluster, we literally have to use warp travel, otherwise it'll take years.
How far apart? Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, you're right. All right. So you're going to Omega, yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You voomp into the warp and voomp. Appear on the outskirts of blah, blah, sorry. On the outskirts of the Garian Omega system. What do you do?
Investigate Omega.
Well, yeah. How?
Set course to bring us into orbit of a habitable planet, and
Close band aspects.
you took the words out of my mouth, brother. It's almost like this is standard procedure.
All right. You should have control of those tokens. Why aren't they controlled?
I can control the Stargazer, not His Majesty.
Weird. Let me just boo boo boo, and there we go.
Okay.
All right. Please scan the planet. Five degrees success. All right, so this appears to be in step with what you've heard. There are quite a few of these massive crystalline structures. This apparently seems to be dotted all over with hive city-sized um, communities, but they're all very strange as the aspects comes back to you. You try to you try to focus the band, and usually when you're doing focused aspects on something, when you look at these cities, and I'm just going to assume you're going to try to look harder. Let's see. There is a thing for this. No matter how detailed your auger array or know how exacting the surveys you try over the course of the next few hours, the maps generated inevitably do not match the maze city structure when compared to different scans. It seems that the very structure of these things are occluding your aspects.
We could deploy fighters or cutters, have them take pictograms.
Very well could. It would possibly be even easier to get an up close look.
Pardon, sorry?
Possibly even be better for us to get an up close look.
Without knowing a little more about what's going on down there, I'm somewhat uneasy about it. Who knows if we would be able to make it back to our vessel, make it back to our shuttle. What twisted design may defeat the hallowed machine spirits of our augurs could very easily, I imagine, defeat our innate sense of direction.
Should I just roll it flat then, or? Well, never mind then.
Your brain powers reveal nothing. Indeed, even reaching out into the warp and trying to focus on these things is like trying to see in a blizzard.
That it does not want us to reveal the information.
Just lands on the planet and starts stabbing the walls of the city. Reveal your secrets. All right.
Give me money.
It is presumably when you're doing this, you had called for Abby, right?
Once
She's
they started being problematic, yeah.
All right. She'll come up and she'll have a little data slate with her, and she'll pull something up and she'll say, "This isn't altogether unusual. Um, whenever when Winterscale was here, he said that every time that they tried to use aspects on like aspects on these structures, it always came back you know wrong. Like no matter how exacting the surveys, they did not match the Maze City structure when used."
fascinating.
Because if they didn't come back blurry like so, and then she'll like fiddle with your dials a little bit, and then you get like a more exacting depiction, and then you know to your eye you're like, hey man, she fixed it, and then she just turns to you and shakes her head. If you were to use this map, then you when you went down there, it would not match what was actually there.
Hmm.
A point of curiosity, but was there ever any attempts to get little pics of them as opposed to actually auspexing or auguring this surface?
Many. Winterscale was not an idiot. However, um, after he surveyed this area, he just kind of moved on. There weren't any objects of great value here, and he left the mystery for someone else. He, his surveys never went too far, especially after, well, they're apocryphal tales at best, but some say that um, the very alien and unknowable nature of whatever race built this was such that it would drive explorers who delved too deep mad.
Well,
We're crazy
madness
already.
is enjoyable, mostly.
Madness is
And
mundane.
even if there are no objects of great value, I do have someone who literally offered to buy the walls. So we shall make something from this, whatever happens.
Diamantine glass has some uses that I know of, but wait, here I have something. Um, yeah, right here. No, one of Winterscale's Mechanicus followers figured this out. She pulls something up. You see, if with the subjecting them to certain specialized chemicals and treatment, the fragments can become pliable, allowing them to flex like netting. And because this crystal channels light and energy, like no matter how far you go into these things, it's always going to be light as long as the sun's up. So once you take this and fashion this into a flexible mesh, it can be bonded to standard armor, and its energy channeling properties allow it to bleed off heat and other forms of energy.
Fascinating.
Interesting.
It makes the armor heavier, but against energy weapons, it counts as it. If you get shot with, say, a hell gun, it would have a much diminished effect.
There is something to be said for wearing not but shiny strands.
Well, it need to be bonded to armor.
Would this bleed not affect even mundane clothes? Perhaps give typical materials an energy-resistive quality?
I'd
With-
imagine. I'd imagine that once you start applying it to standard clothing, it would be treated as more as armor than clothing.
If you were to try to apply it to clothing, the chemicals necessary for this procedure would melt the clothing.
Hmm.
You need at least flak or mesh, but maybe even better carapace armor.
That is disappointing. There was a rave on the previous planet where having glowing clothing would have been very appreciable.
If you wanted that, I'm sure there are similar clothing that the Eldar use that have armored properties.
True. It is more the bleeding of light, so very convenient when you're parting with humans. Goodness knows they are very, very fond of their las weaponry.
I'll take your word for it.
Yes, I suspect you do not get shot at very often for people just making assumptions about you.
I have met alien races, and yes, they have shot at me first.
Fair enough.
And then we're pacified.
Well, that has yet to happen, so count yourself on the plus side.
I do not like Tau.
Really? I find their
Well, that's
little speeches about the greater good very endearing.
They did not try to embrace my world into the greater good in that same way.
That is most unfortunate. I remember once there was a useful Tau girl. She had just finished her equivalency of the Oasis College, so she was looking to have a good time. She had a very good time.
They just bombarded my planet into dust.
That is far less of a good time.
For all of their talk of a greater good, if you defy them in their manner, they will destroy a world just as easily as any other race will.
Understandable. Regardless,
She's a xenoarchaeologist who chases xenos around, Bob. What do you expect?
I would have figured she grew up on a planet that was attacked not only by Dark Eldar, but by Tau.
Yeah, like this is. I'm going like
that's like
come
the
on.
Imperial Guard themselves. She probably don't trust the Imperial Guards either because they all.
they all try to glass her planet. It's really weird. It turns out that there's a mountain range that very perfectly, if you observe at a different angle, says "bomb this, please." Like, but if you look at it from the left, it says it in Eldar. If you look at it from the right, it says it in Tau.
Her interest in like Xenos and xenoarchaeology came from a morbid fascination with how her planet was destroyed, and she's from like really far away.
Well, fascination
Like,
getting
as in,
exploded.
she got as far away from the Tau as possible.
Like Kronos? Is she from? I'm joking.
Is she from Kang?
Reference to Soulstorm.
It turns out that in a space future where Indiana Jones-esque weird shit can happen by delving into ruins, you will often, very often find a lot of trouble.
Understandable.
Wonderful.
You're in a grim, dark universe. Everyone has horrible backstories.
Apart from me, mine is delightful. Surprisingly enough. I like to think that that's why I never roll insanities. Like, I just had a pretty reasonable fucking good time. I was born in a position of privilege, and, you know...
Don't stop me
yeah.
now, I'm having such
It's-
a good time.
It's not like I was living on my home planet when it was destroyed.
Well, of course you're... Never mind. Would you like a cake?
No, thank you.
That is very disappointing. And she'll, like, spot icing still on her fingers. Ah,
I do not believe it is time for confectionaries.
you say that, but I have made my most impressive one yet. It can wait for after exploring this mysterious ruins and nearly all of us die in the pursuit of monetary gain, I suppose.
I hear this thing called rum cake that you should make for Marcus. It might change his mind.
Ah yes, cakes full of... I've actually made Amir sack muffins before.
Marcus just turns his head a little bit about that. Really?
Oh yes, it turned out quite successfully.
Wonderful. Well,
I will be right back. I have to go look at things.
I'll be in my bunk.
well, bang, okay.
Mm.
Since this planet resists being scanned from orbit and resists being scanned remotely, does that mean perhaps an exploration on foot?
It's let's that it resists being scanned, and she'll point at the now focus scan. It's just when you take this this aspect down to the planet, it won't match up with what you'll find. It's just it's strange, and no one knows why.
If we took flyers down, would we get a better look?
Yes.
I would very much like to go onto this creepy little planet surface. Maybe there are exciting Xenos to befriend. I befriend, no doubt meet, and then they attack us, and then I have an exciting good time.
There are no survivors of the Agarian Dominion.
Of course, that is what they would like you to think.
That's what makes it more exciting.
Of course, you probably did not know about it. We've already been to one of the planets here, after all, and it seems that very recently there was something quite alive. It's very exciting.
Something alive?
Hmm.
Well...
It was alive.
It was alive. It made for... Oh, I even have a necklace.
I have a knife.
Unfortunately,
I don't say that out loud.
unfortunately, some Astartes beat us to it.
Ah, there is actually something I would plumb your mind for. With words, I know how paranoid you are. This here, and she will draw up. I know that there was some like symbolism that reminded her really terribly of something to do with this Astartes chapter, and I can't remember what the fuck it was. I know there was something there that I was just like, something brain.
Broken sword.
Yes, I draw that for her. Do you know what this belongs to?
It's a broken sword with a gout of flame.
Yeah.
That's something a book, I think. Actually, I think I wrote it down.
It's written. It's been put. Must put it in there. Do you know what this is? It has been on the tip of my tongue ever since we first saw it, and I know that I should remember it. In fact, that is most likely meaning it is of Eldar origins, be it dark or otherwise. It is most distressing that I cannot.
And I've been in a fight with them, but I can't recall much about them.
I like that you've been really careful to make sure that Macron never uses more than 2 syllables per word. I don't know whether it's intentional or just particularly good roleplaying, but I've never heard a 3-syllable word come out of McCraw's mouth. Because, I mean, Dakar is 2, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Could you imagine a like a chess match between Ogren and an orc?
I have an intelligence of 55.
What?
Yeah, the orc would fucking destroy. McCraw is the smartest orc you will ever meet. He's been alive for a very long time.
What most people don't know is that any challenge is a fight to an orc, even if it's chess.
Yes.
Oh my god. Could you imagine her?
Yeah, well, yeah, Herc versus McCraw at chess would be incredible.
That would actually be a match that I
A
think
really fair one.
Marcus would actually pay for and force others to pay for.
If I am willing to pay outrageous sums for tickets to this event that didn't exist until now, you'd better believe you're going to be ready to pay exorbitant sums. That would be pretty fucking sick.
Yeah,
So
he's probably playing the Haggard on a Scholar World by now.
yeah. He's their Hagrid, absolutely. Oh, shouldn't have done that. And you've got like another pasted ecclesiarchy in your fingertips again from shaking his hand too hard. Shouldn't have done that.
He's just wearing this like frilly pink apron, like over top work clothes.
He has a an old like las gun, but it's broken and hidden inside an umbrella. Occasionally, if he shakes the umbrella hard enough, the gun fires.
I use this to start the cooking fire. I think, I think one of those units is approximately like halfway from Earth to the moon. I think.
It's 50,000 kilometers.
So that means that any ship within orbit of a planet is within 1 VU, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh fuck, space
is hella big.
I could win a space combat from the ground.
Only
Yes.
if it's come into like actual proper orbit, though.
Yeah, you could shoot at orbiting like orbital assaulters, which is pretty dope.
No, I could make the ship in orbit shoot its orbital assaulters.
That's pretty cool.
Well, shall we go down and take a look?
I think we have to wait and see if Abby knows shit about the mysterious chapter that's been on one of these planets here, because that might be pretty telling.
There is only one name associated with this, and whenever it's been seen, it's whenever this symbol has been seen, it's always been in in violent engagements far, far from the seat of humanity, and even the people who are they are saved by don't really know much about their heraldry or anything. The only story that has ever been told that has ever been told in some detail is by a small group of missionaries uh, on their way through the Calixus sector when they were attacked by Uvoth long, long ago. They were saved by a group of space marines, and when inquired as to who they were, the only response given was, "We are the Void Sentinels," and then they vanished, like literally vanished from the ship.
Lost.
Lovely.
How very quaint. And let's see here. Now that I have a name, I'm gonna give it another fucking go at that Eldar knowledge. Was it Dark or Eldar specifically?
Dark Eldar.
Okay. Let's do this thing. Book. I'm like, no, I guess, and it must not be the
Would
ones
you like
I...
to spend a pain token?
I don't spend pain tokens like that.
Well, no, fate point. You have
Yeah.
fate.
I do.
Sadly, all I have is Imperium common lore.
I feel like burning fate right before we're about to go on the planet when I have no banked like bonus fate, because I get mine as if I get enough paint tokens I get padded like, you know, essentially temporary fate. Like it doesn't stay on my total.
How much fate do you have?
I've got 2 total.
You should have more.
No, I shouldn't. I don't get shit for fate. And I did not roll high when I got it.
Yeah.
You
I
have
got-
what, Bob?
Stray, you said everyone got 2, but we got to roll. So if like Scow and Bob just didn't make the roll well enough to get the Emperor's Blessing thing, then they should have 2.
Actually, I did make the roll. I think I did roll a 10. So I have 3. Somehow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I made the Eldar, it was like, there's nothing in here about fate. I'm like, oh, that sucks. No fate for the Eldar. So I have the 2 you gave me.
Did you never roll for
I
more?
don't think I did.
Oh yeah, if you roll like 1 to 4, it's just 1. 6 or something, it's 2, and
okay.
then like 8 to 10 is yeah. I took it from. Hey, look at that. Now you have 5.
Dope.
Huh?
I think.
That's not what you did, Stray. Not at all what you did.
I'm pretty sure I took the fate thing from Rogue, not Rogue
Only
Trader. Nope, not Only War, because Only War is shit
Yeah.
too.
You
From
took
Dark
it-
Heresy Second Edition.
Yeah. And that's not how Dark Heresy 2nd Edition works. What you said, this is literally what you said, is that you think this fate system sucks, so what you're going to do is give everyone 2 fate points, and if they roll 7 or above, they get 3.
Huh.
Yeah, I have 2.
I have 3 now. Yay! I never did roll in the end. I was just like, oh, I don't have anything about fate. That blows. Right, guys.
For you. In the event, we'll get back to that later. Must have been somebody a little drunk. Yeah.
Damn you, body leather.
You do. Did you want to re-roll
seeing
that
as
then?
seeing as I've got 1 more than I even thought I had.
I was about to say, I motivate you to do better.
Are you able to make me better at think? I don't think you can make me common law harder, but if you can,
It's a skill test.
fuck, do it.
I can glare at you and say, "Do it better."
All right.
Marcus
Is there
brings up the
is there a
pom-poms.
role that you do for that, or?
No.
All right. What?
Nope, it's just a trader.
All right.
thing.
What's my modifier now then?
Well, I give you plus 10 to remember that. So
I've made it. Not by very much though. So probably like you also might have heard that name. I'm like, great.
What you know about them isn't much more than you know before, but you definitely know now that it's kind of like the boogeyman story the Dark Eldar tell each other to make sure that their kids eat all their pain. Is at one point the Dark Elder had a really, really strong presence in an area of a galaxy until they were basically hunted down to hunted down to, well, I would say a man, but hunted down to an elf, and all of their outposts destroyed and their warp gates blown to smithereens.
Huh. That would be why I remember them. I always was terrible at eating my vegetables. I don't give anyone that kind of context. That's how I'm like, that's how. I do not explain any of that.
Given that all Dark Eldar have decadence, it's just, hey, yeah, make sure you drink all of your moonshine.
Look, everybody knows that if you don't drink all of your moonshine, you won't get your dessert moonshine.
Turns out Deldars are satyrs.
Oh, nether toxin again! Look, if you finish your nether toxin, I'll let you snort a viscerine off a hooker's crack. Okay.
So, getting back to the story.
I'm just having too much fun with
That
Decadent
was part
Brain.
of the
Yeah,
story.
yeah. I mean, it was like, yeah, the void shit was that was in canon. Yes, I suppose that makes sense.
Shall we take a look?
Nice, recovered. I would be glad to land on this planet and explore its strange Xenos historical ways.
Yes. I will.
It is a shame I do not tan. It looks like I would be able to get quite a good one down there.
Shall I call for the flyers? I think I'm calling for the flyers.
I suppose.
Well, she did have what was it prepped? Is that yellow text?
Yellow text?
A while ago, Ambrosia started prepping some ships to go down.
Oh, that was Marcus.
Oh,
He
Marcus.
has attempted to steal my small craft from me.
Very, very underhanded of you, Marcus.
Sister, will he be coming down? Will he be coming down on this particular scan, or will he be staying up in the ship again?
This time I shall accompany you. There are no heretical ecclesiarchal ships to worry about.
That we know of. Very well.
Well, brother, if there are some and you didn't find them on the scans, I shall blame you if the bridge crew suffers in my absence.
Fight. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Why is the wait? Who's going down planet
All
surface?
us.
I am.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was Ambrosia going down the surface and leaving Marcus up in space.
You just swap places and said, "Great, I'm going to go try those Amasak muffins."
Hey, just because I work better when I'm toasted doesn't mean I'm toasted all the time.
It's the janitor to help him make them.
No, I bake my own delightful goodness.
And Exhibit A of working better when I'm toasted is when I fucking drifted this fucking cruiser when we were fighting that Void Kraken.
Were you basically playing oh fuck, I've forgotten it now. Sky Pirates game. Steampunk in the sky. Shoot at people.
Skies of Arcade.
Guns of Icarus, yes, where one of the captain abilities to make the ship handle harder is to literally just get shit hammered on moonshine. Your engines start taking damage because you just pilot wildly and you get to turn harder. That's literally a power in Guns of Icarus. I loved being pilot.
That's awesome.
Moonshine power is the best power.
It is very well known amongst the bridge crew that whatever Marcus does, he does even better when he's toasted.
It's true. That's fair.
Huh. Yeah, never heard of that game until literally just
Guns
now.
of Icarus is
Weird.
great. I might have a spare copy of that. We'll see. And if I do, then I'll pop it over to you.
Okay.
Is that a weird like first-person shooter?
No. Guns of Icarus is
I know.
is a crew that operates on a steampunk airship. Yeah, and you have gunners, repairmen, and generally they do double duty, and the pilot.
Yeah.
Huh, sounds
It's a
fun.
good time.
Anyways, so who's all going down the planet surface?
I am.
Why
Abby
not?
is going to.
And of course, Tambork, the best of Borks.
Elshian has
So-
to make up for a failed roll. Make it look like she knew all along.
Pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adventure.
Ambrosia
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's up, la-di-di-la-di-da. Yabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-do-sta-do.
All right. So, you're going down to the planet's surface. It takes you a few hours of flight to, angle yourself down. Where are you going? Are you just gonna like land outside of one of the maze cities?
As we approach, would we be able to decide?
We wanted to do at least one flyover to get some pictograms.
Yeah, you can do so. These hive cities take a while to do a flyover of, even in high orbit. Some of these, rival even some of the greatest hive cities in the Imperium.
Now, if only we could cleanse this of Xenos taint.
You must always keep your taint cleansed.
Not everything is an innuendo.
Did I hear hive titties earlier?
I think you heard hive cities.
I'm sure, but
I mean, I would also be okay with the hive titties. I imagine that is when you get lots of women to lie on top of each other at once, so they're pressed together like honeycomb.
Or it's something horrifying that the Tyranids.
That is also a possibility.
How dreadful.
I prefer my line of naked women profession much more.
or it's just bee girls.
Of course. That would explain why that was on Pets and Vintil's mind.
They're technically abhumans, so they're technically acceptable.
The Tyranids evolved to know exactly how to make the Dark Elder not kill them, and that's
Titties.
their hives on planets look like titties.
Yeah, the defense mechanism against the Dark Eldar is to instead become fuckable.
Yes.
And have you seen these more pronounced Tyranids on this planet adjacent to us? Highly fuckable.
And I didn't hear that.
All right. So, yeah, you can make a flyover and take various pictograms. Abby will assist you. And while you're doing so, she makes a bunch of notes in her very advanced data slate.
Nerd.
Sticks her tongue out at you.
I have my best flying hat on.
How many hats tall is your hat?
At least
A reasonable 3. If you go too high in hats when you're doing the flyover, then they get knocked over when you go through a hatch, and then you look like an idiot.
Gemstones and exotic feathers in this one.
I believe gemstones and exotic feathers are the names of the 2 women who kept me company last night.
Oh, I thought those were the names of the 2 women that are in his hat right now.
This is gemstone and this is exotic feathers.
They constantly ruffle my hat to make it look like it's blowing in the breeze.
It's just blowing upwards in it. Can I build a house on this ship out of stolen walls when we steal all the walls? Just a playhouse.
Not yet.
They're incredibly dense. That I assume that would cause like neck problems.
Probably.
You underestimate the strength of Marcus's neck.
He's mostly neck, actually. In fact, it's more like he isn't any...
Strongest neck in the
Yeah, it's
Imperium.
actually more like he isn't any neck, because having a neck means there's something for someone to cut. Instead, a real man just grows their fucking just shoulder muscles until they encase their head comfortably between the 2. Like Space Marines.
I like
Literally,
how
It's like an
I've broken
upturned
guillotine
mixing
balls
bowl.
with this before.
upturned mixing bowl. I
I've
like
broken
how instead
guillotines.
of getting an arch militant, you just started adding Xenos to your ship.
The best way.
Yeah. Just wait. When I inevitably die and then the sexy water cast fire warrior turns up. It's all good.
Oh god.
Hey, look, you got
That
space for my Gundam?
That might actually be a problem.
But
Tau.
Yeah, like actually, because they'd be walking around the
Scout out.
ship talking about
The great are
you
good.
you should convert to the great.
Yeah, especially if it's a water cast, I would spend a lot of time, like all those ones who had previously become Dark Eldar fuck slaves. I'm like, I'll rehabilitate them for you, and you'll be like, okay, great, she's really good at it. Her voice is very soothing, and then all of them are just walking around going, "The greater good."
and at that point, I'd be able to practice my command.
I mean, could
Sausage
also
fest.
be like someone who broke off from the greater good. You don't know. Tau can do that.
Am I not allowed to
Sometimes.
just smack my crew members repeatedly?
I mean, you can. I think that's actually in part the contract that every if your shirt is red, then you've got like slap rights on them. Oh, that one's wearing a red shirt.
No,
Why'd you do that?
Just,
You're a red shirt.
I was feeling a little sad at that moment.
I was feeling handsy, and I didn't know what to do with myself. Your face. Has anyone told you you have an incredibly slappable face? Yes. Keep it up. Keep up. That's the most. That slap felt really. You should be very proud of yourself. That was a very good slap on your face.
And I do apologize that my ring took out a chunk of your face.
On the plus side, I dare say chicks do love their scars. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir.
Going back to the story.
I feel like that's how the actual ship of Carlos McConaughey operates, is just this fucking random horseshit. Just 24/7. But the pay is great.
Of course.
Alright. How long are we all trapped in a little ship with each other, by the way? Because it might actually, these are conversations that might literally just begin happening. Like, if we're all just stuck in the same space for a really long time in high orbit.
How many hive cities do you want this planet is covered in?
We could possibly we could actually put quite a few small civilizations here.
Is there anything that is attached to a mountain, perhaps? If you remember last time we saw that where the being had been locked up, it was a cave system, as opposed to city structure. So if we pick an hive city that is attached to a mountainscape, then it will be the largest of them. And possibly, potentially hide all of their sneaky bullshit.
Fine logic. Is there such a thing?
Yeah, you can find one of their maze cities built upon a mountain. Yeah.
Then, Bud, take us into that one.
Very well.
All right. So you're flying over, just taking pictures, right?
Yeah, we're just doing initial scans.
All right. That will take you several hours to do. To thoroughly map everything. Well, maybe more like a couple, but still. This is still very, very, very massive. So presumably you go through the entire thing taking pictures. What do you do after you're done?
I say collate the images to get a better look.
All right. Well, what you can see when you put them all together is that the exterior walls of this maze city stretch as high as 500 meters, covered with boxy protrusions, beam, and any number of other strange constructions that give certain walls a half-finished appearance. The curtain walls are constructed of the same pale stone as the rest of the maze city and are almost universally scored and pitted by blowing sand. And this is the outside walls. Despite their unfinished appearance, these curtain walls are incredibly dense. Now, as you're going over and through, you can't really see that far into them, since they seem to be the cities aren't as human cities, but it's almost as if they were carved out of the same crystal and made into a city. You can see like towering domes and stuff like that that probably hide passages and strange corridors that seem to twist and turn at angles that, you know, strange, unnatural angles.
Fascinating. Seems almost unusual.
Yes.
You notice from what you can see, there are never any curved passageways. Every turn is made at abrupt right angles. Well, abrupt angles, anyways. Sometimes, from what you can see from, staring at it, it seems to almost double back in on itself and go straight up, go up like 75 degrees.
What sort of alien minds?
Womp.
That was a really good one. That was a very clear whamp. It sort of sounded like you were about to call in the Inception.
Yeah.
Just come running out. Start the plane! Start the plane! Ugh.
Have we learned anything new about these cities from the?
I told you everything you know. I'm waiting for what you're gonna do.
I say from here, the only way we get more information is going unknown.
Yes, it seems so.
Have we landed yet, or?
Let us set down near one of the larger structures. And hope that Zeno follow the universal rule of bigger is more important.
It ain't the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean.
I thought you wanted me to step away from making innuendo, but you make it very easy.
I'm the GM, I can say whatever I want.
I was talking more to the person who said that bigger is... Never mind. Never mind, voice in my head.
Oh my god, shut up, John Williams!
It's more like, what is that thing that I should know about because it exists in this setting, but for some reason I do not remember them immediately. Ah, thank you, yes, voice in my head. Yes, this is perfectly normal for my kind. Are you sure your Deldar isn't crazy? I'm not even sure it's a Deldar.
What was that movie that did that? The author was writing a book and he heard the whole thing being written about his life.
Number 23.
No, it's not that.
I do remember because it's like a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if it's a rom-com, I have no idea. I may be a lady, but there's that one thing that I've never been able to
Why
associate.
do I think that's a
I
The-
like
I've
What do
never
I-
watched
I
it.
like I like the implications of the way Bob said it. Is just like, yeah, I totally know about this because it's a romantic comedy.
Yeah,
Bob watches all the romantic comedies.
Why do I have a feeling it's a Jim Carrey movie?
That's what it reminds me of, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Jim Carrey.
yeah, I don't think it was either. I know I picked a lot of it up when I was in the.
It was the
Pixar.
guy who played in 40-Year-Old Version.
Carell?
Yeah, Steve Carell.
Mm,
I've never even seen For Your Virgin, and I knew that was Steve Carell. Is it him?
You're all talking gibberish to me. I'm gonna grab a warmer on my coffee.
How often does your coffee need warming? Or by warming, do you mean a shot of the good stuff?
No. I just already drank the entire thing. It's been half an
Oh.
hour.
Fair enough.
Speaking of Steve Carell, he is rumored to be playing Steve from Minecraft the movie.
That's actually really going to be a thing that happens.
I really hope not. But that's what it says on his IMDb, so...
Also, I've been spending too much time playing around with the worst photoshopping I've ever done to draw Marcus's drinking hat for piloting. Let's see here.
Oh, God.
I couldn't find appropriately positioned silly straws for it, but you better believe there's silly straws.
So, oh my god, it's an Archaeotech drink.
That's correct.
It was his hat,
Yeah, we did
Mr.
have-
Krabs. He was number one.
Yes, even in ancient Terran, there is still a name tag on the inner part of the brim, and also a small blood stain that says "Est Werben Jägerman Jensen."
Yeah, that's true.
Emperor's
Anyways.
special. It also says on the inside of the brim, hidden under like a fold in the fabric, Emperor's special drinking hat. Don't touch.
Anyways, you guys fly down and land outside of the structure. I'll move you there in a second. The outside of the structure, because of the way that this thing is made of and the light of the sun hitting it, it seems to cast everything in a blue hue. Though this does nothing, though this looks quite beautiful, the area around you, since you're on the outside, stops nothing to stop the buffeting winds that kick up coarse sand. For the love of God, I hope I remember to turn off dynamic lighting. I did.
Is beautiful. Don't get a
You you stand below a massive spire of crystal here that is easily the size of a titan.
I want this on my ship.
I don't think there's space, brother. Unless we mounted it as an auxiliary ram.
Fortunately, I don't think we can this time.
It is meant to be very dense after all. Also, so far as I remember, one of the properties makes it relatively explosive. I think sticking this to the front of your ship to smash it into something, although probably very much in Macraw's purview, not very much your own.
It's described as dense, but when you get it down to like a fine sword, piece of it, if it like cracks, it will basically just explosively crack from all the tension.
Oh, so like a what kind of drop is that? The
I mean, it's essentially a splinter blade.
Prince, what is that? A Prince Albert's
Hard but
drop or
brittle.
something like that? So I could make a sword out of this.
Yes, there's a handout for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you weren't there. Go to handout, scroll all the way down. Ba, ba, ba. Copyright.
Copyright.
We should harvest some of these.
Surely on the return trip.
We are correction. We are harvesting this, but moving on.
Make it mine. Make it and make cannon shells. Mine it and make cannon shells out of it.
That'd be fucking dope as shit.
This.
Alright, so you're standing on the outside of this area, and when you look around, there are huge entrances. They're at least 30 meters tall, and they're randomly scattered outside of the curtain walls to this area. Each of these gate has what?
Remind me, how big was that that corpse in the prison place? Was it, around the right height to use for these entrances?
It was very large. It was not 30 meters tall. It was like 15.
Okay.
Alright, and that comes with silly
Oh,
straws.
that is wonderful.
You have it.
Now all I have to do is make those silly straws golden, and it's perfect.
That's when you drink solid gold through them. They're see-through, obviously.
Anyways.
Oh shit, gold bricks, motherfucker.
Each of, as you explore, each of these gates has gigantic doors up to a meter thick, with no obvious mechanism for opening and shutting them. However, many are left partially or completely open, allowing ingress.
How tall are they?
I just told you. 30 meters.
30.
At least 30 meters. That's what I should say. Some are taller.
So I really do build them big. I approve. Well then, fearless leaders, would you like me to scout ahead, or are we just going to traipse into every building?
Well, we have no particular leads to which has anything important in. And you and Elsian are somewhat faster than the rest of us.
If I may suggest, use something to mark your path. The entire expeditions have been known to get lost inside of these labyrinthine structures.
How many flares are there on, or maybe perhaps the things, as you break the insides, they glow with light?
Elshian will turn on her agonizer and see if it can make a mark along the wall.
What's the stat for an agonizer?
Battlefield shocking, they probably can.
Yeah, not about that.
1d10 plus 3 pen 6.
You can make almost imperceptible marks on it.
Wow. What about pen 7? I've got a talon.
I can keep shooting my snaz gun.
Oh my god, holy shit, I forgot I have that Rat Gold's gigantic sword, the Intimidator.
I would like to point out that these things absorb energy, and anything that does damage because of energy probably won't do much.
That would explain why the agonizer's not doing
Ah,
much.
here we go then. I will roll out the razor flail.
Oh, what's the pen on
3, but it is no. It's just a very very sharp. In fact, it's razor sharp, according to this.
that? Yep. You can make more of a dent than other people, but you suspect that you're going to need something that can, you know,
All right.
you would have the very least by striking a surface multiple times be able to make like an X marks a spot for you to get out.
I'll use the shuriken catapult, pen 6, R type.
Are you just going to
I'm
shoot
gonna throw
shurikens
R.
into the wall?
Brendan,
Yeah, they'll just
Can
stick.
Can you not shoot up my walls?
You're going to have to break them away anyway. But very well.
We have to figure
I have,
out-
of course, come up with the perfect solution because I am a genius. And I will reach into my bag and reveal a pen.
Yes. Yes.
on crystal.
Have you not seen this marker? It is, some might call, magical. It is so good. And then I will squeaky with it and just put a big smiley face.
Fascinating.
I know, right? Assuming no one goes out of their way to rub on it before it is dry, I'm sure we will manage just fine. All agreed? Everything is well? I confess I did not bring children's crayons with me.
I know you Dark Elder like pain, but I thought at least you'd use lube.
Would you like to find out for sure?
Moving on.
That's right, I'm gonna break your brain, woman. I'm gonna break your brain!
He said, hiding his heresy boner.
Heresy bonus, look out.
Ambrosia
No,
is
no.
barely suppressing a chuckle.
Marcus has no heresy bonus. Because you are heresy. Abhumans, on the other hand, are perfectly fair game.
Abdominal bonus. Alright, so yes, assuming we move like twice as fast as the other guys, how long does it take us to peek a few buildings?
It's less you're peeking a few buildings and you're going through massive corridors.
Right.
These what you go into are the main passages of these maze cities. Abby will point out that these were called galleries in the Winter Scales journals, and are towering vaulted passageways. They are, as you go through, they are usually level, and when you run a little bit farther, whenever they rise or descend, and they do so with gentle slopes and are as wide as 50 meters and up to 3 times high. When they turn, they split. When there's a when they turn either to the left or the right, they split and turn at sharp, abrupt angles, dividing into new galleries. These are enclosed, but they are constantly illuminated by the strange luminescence from the walls, a light that seems to vary with what she'll point out with the planet's sun. It looks blue here because of this particular sun, but another one with, say, a red dwarf would look red, and so on and so forth. Along gallery walls, all heights, are countless 2-meter high openings leading into clamped and claustrophobic corridors within. Claustrophobic, and when you look down, they just seem to be very narrow and cramped. Many of these openings are high up on the walls, far out of the reach of the most adept climbers. As people are following along, slowly after, Abby will point out that no expedition has found out how the Agarians accessed them. Perhaps they were a flying species.
Or perhaps they had a tiny servant species, perhaps? I know for a fact I do not fly, but there was always a servo skull, or our equivalency, of course, access panels built into the ceilings, mostly out of sight.
So did you say there was like a painting of a red dwarf?
No.
No.
Okay, what was this thing about a red
The
dwarf?
color of these crystals is dependent on the source of the light. So other parts of this
Ah.
system would be like if you're out orbiting a red dwarf, then this crystal would look red. It looks blue right now because we've got a blue sun.
Okay.
She'll say that most of these corridors are known to lead to other areas, and other areas are only accessible by them. So there are two possibilities. Either these other areas were for, as you said, servitor races, or that Agarians were smaller than humans on average.
Hmm.
The latter of which seems most likely because it's completely dotted with corridors into other grand galleries, such as the one you're standing in now.
Interesting. Does it look like something I could squeeze through by virtue of just being thin?
Yeah, you don't have to squeeze through them. They're about um they're about like 2 meter, maybe 2 meters or less high, but at the lowest you're going to have to stoop.
Okay. Then I will not have to hand off the intimidator to someone. Especially since I like that. It's my newest acquisition. I can't wait to use it on someone. So on top of the usual carrying a bunch of weapons, I've also got that motherfucker on my back.
All right, so are you gonna wiggle down a corridor to see where one leads
Yep.
to? You peek your head out at the end of one after wiggling about for a few minutes. You find yourself in another one of these massive galleries, but you seem to be on the other side of one of the doors that was closed. Looking left and right reveals similar, almost identical passageways.
Interesting. I'll make a marking just at this edge and like lean over the wall so I can make it visible if I was to look at it from the other side. And then I will climb back out the other way back towards everyone else.
Reverse wiggle.
Yeah, reverse wiggle. Everyone gets to see that booty backing up.
Anna, Elshan, tell me, can you sense anything now that we're on the ground of the planet?
Mhm.
Danger, Will Robinson. I sense danger.
Do I sense anything? Straight?
When you reach out to the labyrinthine maze that you're in, you feel constant weighted pressure on your mind, and you feel claustrophobia start to set in as you look around the dizzying amount of passageways as they dip and buckle and return on each other.
As I suspected, this is the work of Psychos.
Wonderful. Take us closer to the source.
Oh, I see. I missed the sanity scroll. Whoops.
Yep.
Since I
And-
have Dark Labyrinth as a power, do I know what this is?
No, you do not. This does not emanate any warp.
Okay. It just has a pressure, like there is something there.
You're trying to reach out and feel with your cognitions, and it's almost as if trying to go out with a radar and then hitting like a million things at once that just ping around inside your head.
Okay.
I look pleased. I like this place. It is not all warpy. Whenever we're like a corridor or more away from each other, does it have any impact on our communication devices like comm beads and shit?
None that you can tell right
That's
now.
refreshing, at least. Usually, it's like you move into the corridor and you hello, and then that's when the aliens get you.
Oh no.
Of course, that's why the holes are there, so they can come out of the goddamn walls, man. So they can come out of the goddamn walls.
They're coming out of the goddamn walls.
Ah, the guy who says "Game Over, Man" died recently. Rip. All right then. Are we at least able to track a route that seems to be going in deeper? Tell you what, I'll. Have I got a skill for this? I might do. Oh yeah. Would tracking apply to like keeping a constant straight line as well? Well, close to as it is, not doubling back, that kind of shit.
Yeah, sure. I'll allow it.
I motivate them.
Great.
Endless pom poms. All right. Yeah. You're able to start like marking your way in. All right. So, you want to go deeper?
Of course, we must go deeper.
All right. Now, as you go along, you go along strange, twisting mazes, making careful certain to mark your trail back out. And the farther you go in, the more every single one of you gets more like a feeling of oppression. It's less like it's coming from like outside. It's just the amount of mazes and the dizzying alien structure of this is just uh, it's not how people with normal minds would build things, and the ambiance is uncomfortable. This pressure is doubled for Anna and Elshian.
I'm gonna say, doesn't that actually happen to be a thing that I really like then as a Delta? Because we're all like, yes, an alien mind constructed this, and also it's fucking with psychics. I should just be like in fucking Juice City.
Yeah, but this is completely alien to you as well, because you know humans are aliens to you, and these are aliens to humans, and this is an Eldar construction.
Fair. Okay. I just mean more like, you know, ha ha ha. Psychos are having a hard time and they're stupid. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, you can
derive smugness.
I mean, yeah, you can derive a certain aura of smugitude, which might be like I almost said protean. Goddamn.
Protean
Which
smugness.
might be like a placebo, like a little placebo effect the to the maze that you're in, but even so.
Fair.
Mm.
So, as you've been traveling along, you've noticed the gentle slope is just going ever further downward, and you come across a room with massive geode pillars that seem to grow out of the floor, and some seem to like hang down from the ceilings, and some shards, one wall is lined by shards the size of a warhound titan, and these geodes seem to flicker with inner luminescence.
I roll Forbidden Lore Xenos.
You can try, but no matter how good you go, you're not going to get any better than your. I'm telling you that you're not going to get anything even on that one. Yep.
Such a sad waste of a roll.
Because no
can
one
profit
knows
off
about
this.
these Xenos, so. And Abby is taking very careful notes.
You're absolutely certain no one knows about
No,
it.
that was a perception on my part. I've gone snowblind from all this crystal. I need to sit with my eyes closed for a moment.
We found out that blue is the color that Dark Eldar do not like. It's their least favorite.
It is so fucking cheerful. Ah!
No. Dark Eldar don't like blue because blue is a common color.
That's very true. It's soothing and it's like skies and nice and no. It's more the case of I tried to look into the shining core of a crystal. Like, no, actually, I think I'm just going blind now. That's not working at all.
And set into this room are various alcoves, and some of them were even set on pillars. What you can see is a large quantity of those things that you've been able to suss out before. Well, you've been told of before, the geode grenades. However, many of them are completely alien and unknowable. And Abby immediately skips over to one of them and one of the alcoves and start sifting through.
Wait,
See something you like?
This this has never been uh, sorry. This has never been reported before. The only things to come out of this ruin, these places are, well, those geode grenades, which are so rare as to be implausible to really find. But I managed to get my hands on them once. This, however, has wasn't in any of Winterscale's reports.
I wonder if we can buy this plant. I wonder if we can buy these plants off the Winterscale family for cheap. I'm sure they would. I'm sure they wouldn't mind having a little bit more money.
Do they even officially claim them anymore?
Not 100%. I believe this is outside their official domain. So technically, we could just claim it.
That would be the inverse. This is within their quote-unquote official domain, but they have let the outer sectors slump away into ingratitude.
So I believe it's ours unless they make a fuss about it.
They would have a legal standpoint surely to pester you, but whether they care is another matter.
They have no flag here, so they can't make too much of a legal fuss.
They had one at some point. At least that's what the voice in my head said at some point. That's the voice who drops mundane law in my head. At least it was pretty sure that it belonged to them technically.
Now that you look at the walls closer, what you assume to be like blurry cracks in the walls and stuff like that are actually carved pictograms. These pictograms match exactly the kind that you saw in the prison of the alien.
The way is shut.
Sister,
Hmm?
come take a look at these scratches. Do you recognize them?
I could be this fucking lucky. Don't worry, Macraw. If we were on another planet, instead they would be a different color. It must mean this whole sector is lucky. And the crystals are just telling everyone about it.
I just got that. It took me like a good minute to recognize what you're talking about. Wait, he's an orc. Of course.
Why, yes, brother. I do believe that seen the like of these before.
This is concerning.
Not especially. We already knew that this whole this whole cluster was inhabited by the same species. It would be more disconcerting if this world had a different language.
Fuck. I was gonna say, does this match up in style, like, actually as any recognizable words? Because there was, like, big ones that might have been a warning. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I'll roll literacy.
Yeah, I just went with raw intelligence because I can't fucking letters. I'm not very good at that Hume writing stuff.
Oh. You know, I'll spend a fate point. I do actually have the most out of the party.
I motivate you.
Awesome.
Fuck.
With 5 DOS, you can tell that this is the same writing in the same language. However, this does not seem to be in the same patterns that were around the for lack of a better word, prison, and definitely not in the same as your mind can recall the same pattern that was on the locks of the door.
Yes, certainly the same language, but different words, and that Perhaps some slight differences in syntax, but
Abby,
nothing more than what would be expected.
how much of a
What?
how much of a sample of this language would you need to begin a translation?
To begin an entire translation of the language, it would likely take years. We only have the very basics of what Winterscale knew, and we don't even know how he translated it into being able to find out it was called the Agarian Dominion.
Maybe he was making it up and you all believed him.
He had evidence at one point, but the family has in some ways fallen into decline. They're still incredibly powerful, however. There's some records are lost. That was likely lost. That knowledge was likely lost along with Winterscale himself.
Elshian will turn to Ambrosia and Marcus and ask, would one of your tech priests be able to date the age of these carvings if we take a sample back?
Potentially, but
I say we keep going.
Beep.
We may be able to compare the age between this planet and the prison planet at that point.
truly, one of you explain to me what has you so worried about the same species having the same language?
Oh, no, I'm just wondering if the prison was there around the same time the city was built, or if the prison was built far later.
As in, is the prisoner an old being, or merely an old being?
Or was the prisoner and its species the reason why this species is no longer around?
Yes, that is definitely a valid concern. Well, once we have finished our initial survey, we can take samples.
Well, this place has been going downwards as we've progressed. Shall we continue with the downwards?
So,
I would warn against going too far in a day. These caverns, even now, I can feel them pressed in on us. We spend too long down here and go too far. Expeditions that have gone farther than a few hours have never been seen again.
Very well, I suppose we should follow our markers out.
Out of character, does anyone have land navigation?
Land navigation means
Out of
vehicles, I believe.
No, navigate surface is like all sorts of land navigation, like on foot, on vehicles. Like
Yeah, like going through
you
a city.
have navigate surface, navigate space, navigate warp.
Right.
It doesn't get any more detailed than that.
Yeah, like I'm saying we might actually seriously just straight up get lost.
I've been doing tracking, which is close.
Out of character, land navigation would not help if you went any further.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. Shall we take a little carvings then with us before we retreat?
I believe that would be a fairly good. That'd be a idea.
Let us try not to break any of these words.
I'll also use a date. There's a. Is it a data? What can take pictures?
Picture recorder?
Okay.
And good quality data slates do have pict recorders built in.
Yeah, they even do FaceTime.
At least primitive ones.
Yep. We all have good quality data slates, right?
And Abby has the best quality data slate.
Okay. Then she probably
Ooh.
just take pictures of everything anyways.
Yep,
I-
and she's taking
I
samples.
actually, yeah. I don't know about you guys. I literally have a pair of picked recorders in my inventory.
And I gave us infinite data slates.
Yeah.
No, I actually don't carry that myself. Seems too much like hard work.
I have a data set, so I'll probably take pictures then too.
All right. So after taking pictures, you guys begin to make your way back, and even now your markings are beginning to fade and distort.
Interesting. It is even changing the physicality of my markings. I recommend we hurry our steps.
What it's been said that it's as if whatever blight befell them attempted to erase their existence from the very fabric of the universe.
Well, that power that is wiping them from existence is apparently more powerful than the marker pen, so let us hurry.
All right. It takes a little while, and you had a chance of getting lost, but yeah, it's some pretty good rules in there, so I'm not going to deal with that. You at some points you guys have a minor heart attack when you notice that some of the markings are gone, but then you look much closer and you're able to find the fainted hints before her markers are completely gone. But her degrees of success in tracking were enough that for the last little bit she's able to lead you out through a what she swore was the corridor you guys came into, but when you come out, you're at least, you come out, you see your shuttle nowhere in sight.
That's unfortunate.
Rudimentary callback to your shuttle pilot will indicate that you guys have come up at least a mile from where you entered.
I was fairly sure this was the right way out. At the very least, it was a way out. I can be happy with that much. We're going to need extra markers next time and move a little quicker.
So yes.
I mean, to be fair, the Coronos sector was all made by FFG.
Yeah, I know. Like maybe this was a squad planet too.
This was literally a planet that the reason everything is slowly erasing itself is because it died of retcon. Fuck, I want that to be canon so hard. They call themselves the Void Soldiers. They disappeared because they then had all of their codexes unreleased.
While you were in there, Abby did take some samples of the geode grenades and the other strange Adarian artifacts that were there. Did you guys take any yourselves or left them down?
I took a couple of gems for the blades and also a couple lumps of the rock so that we can possibly hand it off to our cog boys to see if they can make experimental ammunition.
I would have also grabbed a few lumps of the shiny crystals.
Because they're blue.
You're just shoving it. You're just shoving in the barrel of your gun and expecting it to work.
You're asking how many geo grenades you guys took.
Oh.
All of them.
You wouldn't be able to carry all of them.
I take a couple.
4.
I carry, in fact, 3 for juggling, and I juggle them just because I can.
We know how. Did anyone explain how big the explosions are to McCraw, other than they just explode?
They're 3 meters across.
None of us have actually tried to blow one up, Macraw.
Hey, he probably would have just handed like 1 or 2 just to experiment with.
Do they make a big noise? That's what Macraw's thinking.
Yeah.
I'm still juggling them.
Because if he does, then he's gonna go. Are we in a munitions dump?
I've got 2.
And then as we leave, he throws one back into where all the other grenades are.
I've had to triple double check all the locks on the Elder Plasma grenades just so that he doesn't try to hit a grenade with another grenade and just take the whole fucking thing out.
I
He
take
just wants to see a
5.
really big boom.
Yeah. So yeah, while I'm juggling them, I'll look back. How volatile did you say these were again?
I take 5 grenades.
Alright, those of you who have geodes grenades, they are on page 125 of the core rulebook. Thrown strike bonus times 3, 2d10, 2d10 plus 3 rending, pen 4, blast 3.
Those are actually some pretty good grenades. Not gonna lie.
Agarian geode. Oh, that's pretty neat. I like that. Oh, I've gone too many pages up because I'm an idiot. Where'd you go? I mean, 125 shows the object. Where is the stat block for it?
127.
Ah, okay, cool. Oh, virus grenade sounds dope.
And those hallucinogen grenades are so good too.
Oh yeah, hallucinogenics are always fucking sweet as hell. Okay,
What were they called again?
geodes on the list. Although they're called Agarian geodes, for some reason the table puts them in under just G. Class damage.
There you go.
2d10 plus 3. Ending. Blast 3. Sweet, so now I have a blast 4 grenade, a blast 1 grenade, and a blast 3 grenade. Always great.
It's always good to have more munitions.
A grenade for every
It is
occasion.
true. All I need is a blast 2 grenade. Let's see here. They don't have blast 2 grenades. The game is obviously broken.
Yep. The Hungarian crystal is like fragile and brittle when it's not like the reinforced stuff that the walls are made out of, even though they are chipped and broken from a few millennia of dust storms.
Can I take a sample of the wall? I have an idea for one of our tech boys.
Yeah, you can. You can spend a while, smacking the wall until it, because the curtain walls are incredibly dense. Inside, not so much, but you can just keep smacking the curtain walls with like something heavy until it cracks. Just pick up a crawl and start slapping them into the side.
So this wall has light amplifying and refracting capabilities.
And venting.
What would happen if you? I wonder what would happen if you applied it towards possibly being an amplifier for our last weapon.
You aren't able to take much of a sample though. If you want a bigger sample, you'll need either military breaching drills or ship grade plasma cutters. You are able to take like stuff that's fallen off and broken off through like years and years of decay and basically just kind of snap them off.
I'm just imagining I just got like a small brick size amount of it.
Something like that, yeah. Like it can fit in your hand, nothing more.
Yeah, okay.
Excellent. Alright then. I guess back to the ship.
Alrighty. Is that what you guys want to do?
Sure.
Alright, so you get in your shuttle and return to your ship in orbit. What do now?
250 years have passed. Your entire crew is dead.
You were down there a lot longer than you think. It is no longer His Majesty's stern gaze, it's His Majesty's rheumatic eye. Sleep and just get ready to go back in there again with more shit.
You know what we should do? Is get a really long rope.
Yeah,
You and your
alright,
fucking rope.
And we can always get out.
You get the
Gets-
fucking rope.
Get some like mining servitors or servitors with big saws for the next trip.
Ooh, murder servitors. They've got big saw blades. I love those things. Quick, kill that wall, and then just you watch. They're multi-purpose.
Yes, that might actually work.
I think it would.
It
Does
would work
Macron-
up until the point where the murder servitors saw any of the non-human PCs.
Wait, you're in control of them. You can tell them, no, don't attack the green one.
Oh no, I've been told that, sure, we can control them mostly, but they have certain protocols that really just can't be overruled. And one of them is Purge for Xeno.
Ah. I like their style.
Oh yeah, I actually sort of like, how many were we bringing out again?
So make it 7.
I do have a question. What does McCraw do when he gets back onto the shuttle and we leave and they've changed to white? Does he freak out?
Your crystals do change.
No.
He has explained that it's.
Well, they
Yeah.
went from the color of luck to the color of death, man.
But he has
Yeah,
he has 55 of smarts,
obviously
and we
someone
explained
else.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, because the moment he stands out in the sun, then the system's luck will obviously wash it up again, and then it'll be lucky.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Alright. So what other things? As opposed to rope, I guess we have like probably shit tons of like wire and cable and stuff, something metal and strong.
Yeah, I'd suggest cabling our way in.
We'll just look like a bunch of roadies and we'll run with a spool behind us.
Is Ambrosia a fan of the classics? Does she realize that I may be unknowingly making a reference to a Greek classic that may have survived through the ages?
Maybe, but unfortunately her player is half asleep.
Well,
The Minotaur's Labyrinth?
it's not like we're gonna go for too incredibly long. Probably another half an hour.
Cute.
Yep.
So if that's it for the first day of studies, what have we learned for the day? Aside from looting.
That the color blue is incredibly boring to my eyes and very bright. Also that markings made to track our way through the location will even erase themselves within the space of a few hours. We do not know the measures by which it will erase marks. For instance, if we do run a cable along behind us as we pass through, will the cable itself begin to corrode in the efforts to hide our objects of passing? Because I was tracking quite hard, but I saw no evidence at any point of any expedition ever coming through here. And presumably that has been the case at some point, and nothing but the wind to possibly disturb their passage.
Very possible.
Why don't we hit it? Why don't we just shoot it from orbit?
Are you trying to wreck my planet?
It would be a
Why don't we
very
figure
easy
that?
way to get lots of crystal at once.
You could carve out a chunk with the gun. With the planet.
Exactly, yes. Use a really big gun to break down some of the walls. Make our way through by force. It has a lot of merit, Macro.
We're adventurers. No, wait, I mean explorers.
We're exploiters, you mean, not explorers.
Yeah. If you're looking for explorers, we're not playing TNG, people. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, we don't. There aren't enough alien babes to
this is
fuck
it.
for it to be a TNG.
There are multiple ways that you can play Rogue Trader. You can play them like you're either Kirk, or you're Picard, or you can play it like we are.
Oh,
Classic,
shit.
classic American early 1900s industrialists. Exploit everything.
Do you know what I love? Land. Why? Because it's land and I get to say it's mine.
As I twirl my mustache.
One of on the barrel of one of Marcus's guns, this is manifest. On the other one, it says destiny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mine just says money and bitches.
I just have Killy ended teeth.
Oh, Shan turns over, her agonizer's like, oh, it must have been owned by a Dark Elder at one point. Hookers blow.
I just go, yes!
So we are. So is that it for the first days of exploration? And oh, by the way, I make sure that those samples get sent down to the cog boys.
Sample.
Your brick, your wedge.
Yep.
And maybe the.
No,
maybe
I
that,
also have a sample. I also
and
make
maybe
it
that
up.
yeah, shard. See if they can make a sword out of it.
Oh, totally.
You gave them a handheld size thing that's not going to be able to be made a sword out of.
Oh, I thought I said a shard and a brick, but okay.
Yeah. To make the swords, it's already told you can't make it out of the walls. The walls are the super dense stuff.
Can we make it into bullets?
You don't know.
Well, I gave it to the cog boys for R&D.
Just give Macraw something that looks like Roadhog's junk gun, and then just see if whatever he pours in actually is a good bullet or not, because it'll fire regardless of whatever it is if he's firing it.
They're good bullets.
They're good
Brent.
bullets, Brent. Me and Bronk are friends now.
I think that's actually a gun that they have that basically like the rocket launcher or the
Yes.
or Junkyard's gun. Pretty sure that's an orc gun. I don't
Straight out of
remember what it's
Claw.
called. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure you can put garbage in one of their guns and it shoots garbage at people. I forget. Maybe it's just
It's probably controlled by
Maybe, I
someone
don't
named
remember.
Weird Boy Trash Lord.
Right?
Alright. Does anything happen overnight then while we're having a sleep?
No. You guys can get back to your ship. Abby
I'll take
says
first
that
watch. Wait, okay.
you take first watch. You just stare out into space. I don't see nothing.
It's so empty. It's quiet.
And
Too
then
quiet.
And then you start getting shot at, and it's like, "Ham, we told you were keeping watch. I know, I couldn't see them." It turns out they're like 5 VUs away.
Yeah, keeping watch is an entirely different concept if you're trying to use your fucking eyes.
All right. So, yeah, you spend the night. Is there any orders you would like to give throughout the ship before, because the ship always has, one crew, everyone works on like 3 different shifts. So, is there anything you would like to order the crew to do while you guys are taking a snooze?
Help eat this giant fucking cake I baked before we got here. I would want it to dry out. I order them. Eat the shit out of this cake. It's the biggest one I've made yet.
I say keep an eye on the planet. Make sure nothing approaches the ship. Start coming in. Let us know immediately.
It's good cake crawl.
El Xian will contemplate the fact that orcs might like loud food.
Apparently, people
I
have
mean, is it a garish cake? Is it just over the
I mean,
top
it
with
is
stuff?
it is the largest she's made, so I feel like it probably has like an unnecessary amount of like just confectionery plastered to it.
So much gubbins.
Yes, lots of gubbins.
That's it. Gubbins.
Just coated in fondant.
Mm.
And I know what that is because I saw a comedy stand-up special once, guys.
Some
It's
rum
rum
cake
cake
is a
with a
drink.
rum drink.
And also was rum bar. Delicious rum bars.
Like Fen the other day. Oh no, someone put rum in my drink.
Yep. Some asshole.
It's always fun to say.
I never met the rum
Alright.
fairy, but I need her to hook me up. No matter how much I stare and pray for like fey beings, like the booziest Thumbelinas to come like fluttering buzzardly through my windows with just shot glasses, nothing happens.
Marcus is still looking for the green fairy because that bitch owes him money.
Have you ever had absinthe properly? It's fucking wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's
I
delicious.
have two checkout. I have two. I won't say that on the street. I have two absinthes sitting in my cupboard.
Oh, lovely.
Fairies like that, Scow.
Alrighty.
So, anything happen?
I told nothing happened overnight.
No, I've never had anything happen when I drank real absinthe.
We're
No,
talking
it's
about
not
in
the
game.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah,
makes more
dude.
sense.
That you don't get high through Joan. Not something that exists. I can explain why later. So, you wake up. You wake up the next day, and what do you do now?
After a breakfast of champions, I say we go back down for round 2.
Yep. Except with some like servitors with massive swords this time.
Yep. Spool cable, extra pens, different bright colours and dark colours since the walls are bright. I'm gonna leave really big markings just so that they last a bit longer.
We don't happen to have a man portable like a las cannon, do
Whoa,
we?
shit tons of them.
Oh wait, it exhausts.
Yeah, I was gonna say the issue is the las part is no good to us here.
Speaking out of character.
Of course. I mean, there's no way an orc would use a fucking las gun. They don't make noise the same.
That's true. They do make a big zap, which
They
love,
do make a
but,
zorp,
you know,
but there's no smash when it hits a thing.
We'll.
They use
another.
Meltas.
That they use a zap gun, which is sort of like that, only like it shoots lightning that does the same thing. But no, you're right. It doesn't eat, so we need just like an auto cannon or an actual cannon. Is there any way to just take a macro cannon down there with us? I'm joking.
You mean that thing we don't have?
Wait, we have a macro cannon battery.
No, we don't. We have a laser battery that's treated in the rules like macro cannons, but is entirely energy based.
That sucks. Well,
I mean,
This is an energy crew, goddammit. This is like the propane versus coal argument.
So, yeah, you get down to the planet with drills and plasma cutters, I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
Alright, so... are you guys going to be doing anything, like, specifically? You're going to try to go spelunking again, or are you just going to spend a couple days in orbit letting your crew, tear this stuff apart?
I'm actually going to suggest trying different what's it called?
I don't know.
Variations, frequencies for vibrating against the crystal and see if that works.
With what?
I don't know.
Making it be
Maybe
harmonic?
These humans have some kind of sonic weapon.
Sonic kaboom. Do we get Guile in here?
Every time I bring it up, it goes quiet because they think I'm talking heresy.
Jesus.
I just don't know any sonic weapons.
There is sonic weapons in the 40k universe. They're used
Yeah.
by Chaos Space
Yeah.
Marines.
Well, yeah, aside from them, aside from noise marines.
Which is why I.
Where everyone else looks at like
Every time I bring it up,
like
all
a-
the humans go quiet.
a noise marine. Oh no.
So we just shout really loud.
I mean, that sounds like an orc weapon. All right, Macron, I need you to try different kinds of shouting until we find the shout that is this crystal's brown note.
Although, actually, with like making things vibrate at different frequencies, that's definitely something people do. Like, that tech priests have like a couple of special rites that are just like making the air around them vibrate at ultrasonic frequencies, and like
Yeah.
literally the brown note is something they can
Yeah.
do.
Everyone's favorite party trick from the fucking, like, you know, like newly cut Cult Mechanicus. So everyone fucking loves old brown note Jerry, the only thing he learned at college.
He can make sure that only the Xenos in the room.
Yeah, no, yeah. He tells you can make a heretic shit within 5 miles.
Alrighty. So, what are you guys going to be? Are you gonna just like be ordering crews to harvest crystal for a few days? Are you gonna go back on expedition number 2? What's your plan?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, just have the crew fucking hauling ass at one thing whilst we go spelunkerizing in another one, but at a brisker pace, I suppose, instead of looking and like staring at everything we see. Just try and cover lots of distance in a shorter period of time.
Alright. So you're gonna land back on the planet's surface. Gonna move Abby from there because right now she is doing her some works. Are you going to check out the cavern the gallery you've already been in?
Might as well, since it's
Well, they
probably
said-
changed, we can get through it faster.
They said no one ever came back from going down too deep, so I say we go a little deeper.
Yeah. Oh god, I get you know the wire spoolers. I'm gonna hook one up onto Tam's back so that when she just runs forward, it unspools wire for us.
Yeah, it's
I'd
an
say-
industrial cable.
Yeah.
So it's like at least 4 inches thick.
I say we hook it up to Macraw.
Just have him run. Go, Macraw, run! Run your hardest and shout.
Alright. When you enter the first gallery that you see, Taryn, you can clearly see your markings are still there.
What the hell?
Nice.
No, that's not nice. As we were going through, these signs were disappearing before. And when we came out where I originally believed to have left these marks, they were not there. So us backtracking literally confused direction. 1 second, and I'll go ahead faster. And
It's a labyrinth.
yes, exactly.
It leads-
Well, I mean, it's a labyrinth, but it was a labyrinth where marks were slowly fading more and more. That's why, like, I run in deeper, and I'm gonna check, like, are the markings completely as solid as they were, or am I able to find older faded ones?
All of them seem to be as solid as when you mark them down.
It's easy to find the center, hard to leave.
I suppose. I come back, yeah, they're solid all the way through. Very strange.
Fascinating.
Hopefully this lends more credence to the wire theory, at least being pretty reasonable. Shall we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sister? I'll take that as a yes.
Sorry. You keep asking me things at the worst possible times. Like, I start eating a chocolate bar. Hey, do you recognize these symbols? I start going to blow my nose. Asking me for affirmative on thing.
Sister, what do you think? Ugh. Sorry, I'm allergic to crystal.
From inside her power armor. Ah, it's all inside
No,
the
it's in
plate
my
now.
mask.
Well, I was gonna see if you could top my breakfast of champions, but I see you're a little busy at the moment.
That would be it's 6 hours ahead. That would be like early morning breakfast of champions.
Yeah. You mean cocaine? If it's a really, really, really early morning breakfast of champions, that's probably the only thing they mean. It keeps him sharp, okay? It keeps him
Please.
sharp.
Do you honestly think this ship could support a rogue trader's cocaine?
That's a fair point. It already struggles with your drinking. And never let it be said, never meet a rogue trader who's happy to dance with Mr. Brownstone.
You could
What?
pay people to make sure that you don't speedball yourself to death.
Bitch,
Oh
I got
god,
people.
it really couldn't support your cocaine habit. Because you'd just be doing it back to back with heroin to make sure you never OD. But then you have to pay people. Because once you got high enough, you'd stop taking the
Pay people. I have janitors for that.
You have janitors to, like, swap syringes for you? Oh, you were running out of up, sir. That's very good. What did I pay you for? Sweeping over here and occasionally swapping out your syringes. Very good. Keep doing that.
I feel like, oh my god, that'd be literally like Hitler and his drug habit.
Yep.
Oh god.
Yep. Why'd you have to make...
Vitavoltin D.
Oh, well.
Christ.
You just take rejuvenate treatments to make sure your brain doesn't break down completely.
I don't think they work that
I'm pretty sure if you just speedballed for, like, 54 straight hours, I think you basically got fudge instead of grey matter.
And that is the average Tuesday.
For you, it was the day when your entire life ended. You became a hobo on the streets in a cardboard giving sloppy BJs for just the barest ounce of crack. For me, it was Tuesday.
They may actually. It has been 10,000 years,
So?
and it's been a rogue trader family for generations. They may have evolved to be able to put up with that kind of bodily abuse.
Oh, right.
There is a reason why I do start with decadence.
It's true. It's true. He's very resistant to most poisons, and mundane poison like alcohol can't fucking top him. It's impossible. The only way I feel alive.
Is by literally drinking Zetos.
All right. Anyway, would you like?
Not their
Would you
blood,
like?
just liquefying
Yeah.
them.
Would you like us quicker alien folk to just fucking sprint ahead and lay out the grounds for you?
Yes.
All right. Would you like some kind of test, Stray, for us to just be hauling ass convincingly?
Are you following your the markings you already brought?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Then why do you want to sprint all that way?
Just to make more travel in a shorter period of time. We're also running a spool of cable. And a run feels good. Gotta stretch the Tamborg's legs.
You don't really need a test to get to where you were.
Sure. Alright then. So it'll still be at a healthy Xeno speed jog, which I think, does Elshian also have sprint?
Yep.
Yeah, we haul it.
Yeah, sprint with a natural agility 3.
Yep. It's a real good feel. To be so goddamn quick. What's your actual agility score at these days?
45.
That's cute. 52.
Alright. So you get to where you were the day before. You gonna wait for the other traders to catch
Nope.
up?
Hauling ass and hauling ass good.
So, you get even further into the maze. Both of you need to make me a willpower test. Elshian, you need to make 2.
Oh,
Willpower test, eh? Alrighty.
I'll spend a fate on that.
Huh. Duh, fuck, I reroll as well. Yeah.
All right. The pressure of the labyrinthine construct that you are going further and further into seems to bear down on you even more, but you are able to shrug it off for now. You are reaching the end of your spool of cable. Might be able to go, well, not the end, but you've gone through a good 3/4 of it.
That's fine. We'll keep on going and swap to pen markers when we run out.
Because I assume you have like a big ass spool of cable.
Yeah, and it's basically just on Tambork's shoulders and has been just being spooled gradually out the entire duration.
And I'm assuming it's not like a thumb thick.
No.
I assume you have like spider wire.
Yeah, it'd be like industrial cable.
Yeah, you know where you have it's probably like what 3 coils thick when you twist them. I think that's like standard.
Yeah.
You know, it's also space cable.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's tough and it's as thin as we can get away
well.
with it like not being too thin, because then it's just goddamn useless as a marking tool.
Yeah.
All right. So, you go even further, and you reach the end of your rope. You can literally the end of your rope. You see further in a great maw that just opens up into a huge room, and you both need to do those willpower things again, for you have gone even deeper.
Have you dug too deep?
I reroll again. For fuck's sake.
Roll me d5.
Oh, I'll reroll again.
You take 5 and.
Oh, then I'm fine. I don't gain insanity.
Oh, all right. You don't go.
Fucking.
Insane. Never mind. I think you're.
Oh my god, yes, we're
Yeah,
we're
nature
both
does
immune
it.
to insanity. Oh, we spent all that fate. Fuck.
No, you can have that back. Instead, you guys are going to have a condition that you're gonna have the labyrinthine mind condition.
Okay.
Basically, the labyrinth is affecting you. So now you both have a -10 on all checks while you're here.
Okay.
Well, let's pick a little token here that seems good. There we go. Little tower.
Forgot the Eldar can't go nuts.
Yeah, we're fucking dope as shit. Can't nuts us up.
Yeah.
We're in this.
They're already
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, McCraw can't be corrupted either. You can just go more insane.
Yep.
It's a wonderful little balance,
Yep.
honestly. McCraw, what does it say?
Well, like Sisters of Battle, they can't get corrupt. They just go insane.
Mm-hmm. And then it just ram it. That's basically what they just either start crying in a corner or trying to literally burn the ship they're in down. Like they think everything needs to be burned.
Including themselves.
Yes.
I make it right with fire. Fire.
Oh, if I had a second, I've been wanting to sort of stream Soulstorm.
Alright.
No way to look at chat. So.
Alright, let's do this shit.
Pretty sure Kanathis looks at chat and he only has one screen, or is there someone
I
else?
don't know.
I have one chat. I have one screen. It's a pain in the ass though.
Oh well.
It's just a matter of window sizes.
Yeah, I mean Thomas does it actually. He makes do with one screen. He might have updated to 2 by now.
It just pissed me off that I bought a TV.
Yep.
Huh. I don't really see it, but
I can kind of see it.
Kind of see what, sorry?
what Mercedes posted in chat.
Oh my god, yeah.
Anyway. Like, point out where it does.
Give me a second.
I got you.
Oh. Like this?
No, look, I'm drawing it
Oh,
for
like
you.
that. Huh.
Oh. Oh.
I was actually looking at the bit right under it.
Really?
This bit?
Yeah, like Clone Wars Trooper.
I see that one now too.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this
You
was
got
just the stormtrooper looking stoically out across the lands. All hail.
Stormtrooper totem. Get out of here.
Yeah, you can see both. There's Stormtrooper and the Clone Trooper. If you take the jaw from the Stormtrooper.
All right, so you're at the end of your line, but yeah, you're at the end of your line, and you're both feeling a bit discombobulated from being this deep in.
I do hope our pet humans don't go crazy.
Marcus smashes through the wall. You said what?
Yeah, the only way to get them to come as well is with rage.
I do tend to do that.
Hmm.
I assume that the rest of you behind aren't literally sprinting behind them.
No, we are casually walking, and I'm enjoying the aftermath of my breakfast.
Are you just walking and gradually shitting yourself?
Ambrosia's just doing the pimp walk with her cane. And in power armor, so it looks interesting.
She's welded a pipe to the front of the power armor.
What?
It's an extension. Like the breathing apparatus actually comes out of the pipe. So it looks like you're smoking all the time.
No.
I mean, my run is 48, and I think Elshien's is even better because she's got one more point of unnatural agility than me.
Or no, it's 2.
Okay.
I never meant 3. Yeah, I got that confused.
Actually, we'd be equal even if that's the case, so I'm moderately faster, actually.
Does Rogue Trader actually include unnatural agility and movement?
It would if you're doing sprint, because sprint is an agility test as opposed to moving. I did look it up in that, like, you do your thing for sprint because it adds your agi bonus to the distance like a post calculation.
Okay.
So you just do equivalency.
Alright. So, you guys are you guys following the cable all the way down?
Yep.
Alright. So, Ambrosia, Barkus, and McCraw make 2 willpower tests. Anna make 4.
Does having jaded to make a difference here?
Hmm?
I have jaded. Does it make a difference?
And I have Jada as well.
No,
Same.
not in this isn't like a fear test.
Fate reroll.
Uh,
Fate succeed.
Okay.
Yeah, I only have.
Anna's good.
Did he reroll on that?
Fate reroll.
Oh god.
You said just 2 willpowers,
Yeah,
right?
for you guys. Anna's got to make 4.
Yep.
Wow, Anna only actually got 1 fail overall, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
She
same
needs.
here.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
rolling that one. Nope.
Whee!
So who failed?
I failed
I
1.
failed once.
I failed 1.
All right, you all know what to do. Each do a D5 for insanity.
Yep, it's still much lower than it probably should be.
What is what?
My insanity, it's a all of 6.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, you really lowballed last time you had to do like an insanity roll. It was with big dice.
Yeah, I should have started with like 10 or 12. No, started with 4.
Where do I even put insanity on this thing?
Near the bottom on the right, above your experience.
Okay, there it is. Insanity 1.
one. All right. So, your those of you, yep, you are now deep within. Well, not that you're a fair ways within this maze city, and your line seems to be holding still. It's not like it suddenly went slack. So, um, yeah, the humans have caught up to you, and the orc.
Cool. We would have had time
I
to
see
look
what-
around at this more, I guess. Is there anything that we can do test-wise to figure out more shit or prepare
So
ourselves?
you've seen the gallery before, right?
Yeah.
This is like the size of every single one you've seen put together and stacked on top of each other and side by side.
Cool. Thinking mathematically, then, would we be able to posit we're looking into the mountain right now? Then it's the only thing that could have been big enough.
Possibly. Looking at this might have been once part of the mountain. You're not even sure if there ever like was a mountain here, maybe a hill, and then they just built the crystal out of it, or if all of this crystal was the mountain, they just carved into the crystal.
Interesting.
Despite the fact that you don't gain any insanity, it is a crushing pressure on your mind when you're looking down into this place.
Yeah, they are not going to enjoy this room.
Let's also talking to Marcus, unless he was just blustering so that in front of his sister.
Of course I
But
am.
but you do
Yeah,
feel
well,
immense pressure on your mind.
But he's got his mind on his money and his money on his mind.
Because all this going through and all this, weird slopes, wrong curves, pockmarked corridors just everywhere. It just, ugh. It's alien and gross. You don't like it. It's just, not driving you bonkers. Anyways, you lot have caught up to each other, and you are standing in front of a massive corridor. And it's been like 40 minutes since I said we would end. Do you guys want to keep going, or you want to call
I
it?
think here is a good point
Please
to
call
call
it.
it. We've got a sleepy mares, and I still have work to do tonight, even though it's 4 in the morning local and 10:30 to me.
And I need to run by the store before it closes. I have nothing to eat.
Yep.
Oh god, eating.
Yeah, I haven't eaten
Yeah,
today
fuck.
either. Yeah, yep. That's I was probably gonna root for that too, since I didn't really want to go past 8:30, because honestly, this next part is gonna take a while. So, whoop, shoobidabop. All right. For this session, everybody mark down the standard session XP, which should be 500.
Cool.
Yep. I'm pretty sure we were at what, 8,200?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in total, 8,700 XP.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Stray, I got a question for you.
Yo,
How much? What would you say is the experience cost for a sidearm?
experience cost?
Yeah.
Oh, for the talent sidearm. Wait, tell me what. Okay, you said sidearm earlier, and I assumed that was a talent from one of the books.
Yeah, it's a talent that was introduced in a later edition. It doesn't exist normally in Rogue Trader, so you have to assign a experience cost, and when it becomes available for me.
Okay. We'll talk about it after the session.
I have 2 weapon wielder.
Is
Bam.
nice. Is there anything you guys would like to bring up before we draw the session to a close?
I'm getting very. You're getting me very attracted to this area because I'm getting very curious about what the hell's going on here.
Clinicians plus 20.
Nice.
So I assume that's a resounding no.
Nope, I'm all good.
All right, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank
one
you,
thing
everyone.
Oh, I did want to say this about those Agarian shard blades.
Mhm.
It says that it doesn't say that there's any special qualities, but it sense that these would have the razor sharp quality.
Yeah. It even says these blades are razor sharp. So in like the description, these diamantine glass geodes blades are razor sharp. So yeah, I'll give that to you.
I will say a Pen 10 sword does make up for the possible breaking.
You have to hit with 3 degrees of success to activate Razor Sharp.
Which, at this point...
How's your melee compared to your pew pew pew? Because, I mean, I would love one of those, as you might gather. I use a lot of them. I mean, I got...
Yeah, my melee it'd be very hard for me to proc that at this point.
Yeah. And also, would not be... It wouldn't be any better than a regular Power Sword. Power Sword is D10 plus 5 damage, Pen 5. That's D10 flat damage up to Pen 10. Power Sword is better.
Mm-hmm. I get dual Agonizer Talons. I, like, finally unclip the second one I've been carrying with me since fucking character creation. Hooray!
See, and Macraw, well, after a certain point, cracking open this planet to look what's inside does make a certain level of sense. Keep in mind, this planet doesn't officially belong to us quite yet.
Oh, then even better.
No, you just say it was an accident.
Yeah.
Or you just say nothing.
The accident's only a rogue trader could do. I'm sorry, it was a total accident. We cracked.
I
this
did
planet
not
down.
mean to crack your planet in half. I mean, we were going by, we were in the area, and we figured it might be
And that
profitable.
planet cracker just
That's safe to say. It might have been profitable for both of us if this planet had been blasted by this gun for a very specific reason that wasn't cracking it. However it cracked, our bad.
You can have half the planet, we'll take the other half, and we'll just walk away.
See, the thing is that this one gunman leaned on the button while we were just scouting out the area, and the planet cracked.
I mean, we killed him and his family as recompense. I mean, his shirt wasn't even red, so you know we meant it.
Mm-hmm.
It was yellow. That might have meant command in the future.
Alright, you know what? I think it's a good time to sign off the stream as well.
Yeah.
Cheers very much for running the game,
Alright.
Stray. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for playing, everybody.
Bye.
Alright.
Bye,
Yes.
stream.
Bye,
Like and subscribe.
Yes, if you're watching in the VOD, so you're watching in the stream, I hope you have yourselves a lovely motherfucking good time, and we're out.
Bye.